This is NTV.
Sadakta, huyu bwana hapa Gilbert Masengeli amegonga vichwa vya habari leo. Kunani? Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaba mpenzi mtazamaji, natumai Jumaa yako safi sawia na yangu. Karibu kwenye taarifa zetu za NTV Weekend, taarifa kuntu, tendeti na za kuaminika. Wanasema mzigo ukilemea hulemea kaya, na ukilemea utue. Tuko tayari kutoa mzigo wa taarifa zetu kuntu. Makinika, lakini kwanza kabisa tuanze na vipasho.
We have started investigations na tunataka kuhakikisha kwamba tutafuata hii, tuhakikisha kwamba hao wakora wameweza kukamatwa.
Wasiwasi shuleni Kibirigwi Kirinyaga baada ya mlinzi kuuawa na majambazi walioiteka shule usiku.
I am making my decision to recuse myself from the further proceedings of this case for personal reasons.
Jaji Lawrence Mugambi apiga bautani na kumtangaza huru Gilbert Masengeli aliyeidharau mahakama.
Tumeweza kuachiliwa leo usiku kwa kuamkia leo sehemu ya Gashie.
Jamil na Aslam Longman wapatikana hai baada ya kutoweka mwezi mmoja uliopita. Na
mzee NTV tu amepata ajali na amepata mkasa na ameuliwa na hawa ndovu walikuwa wawili.
Ndovu wauawa Meru, huku wakazi wa Samburu wakimalizana na simba mwituni.
Hii ni NTV Weekendi na Lofty Matambo.
Bambam, Afrika Mashariki, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. Karibu kwenye taarifa kamili. Imegonga saa 1 kamili. Kwenye chumba cha ishara ni Flora Tieno. Taarifa kuu. Jaji wa mahakama kuu Lawrence Mugambi amemwondolea naibu inspekta jenerali wa polisi Gilbert Masengeli kifungo cha miezi 6 alichokuwa amempa Ijumaa iliyopita. Hii ni baada ya Masengeli kujiwasilisha mbele ya jaji huyo na kuomba msamaha. Mwanahabari wetu David Mudhoka anayeandaa taarifa hiyo, muda si muda utaipata kwa kujaa na kupwa. Tukisonga mbele, Jamil Longton na nduguye Nadhim Longton na Bob Njagi wamepatikana Ijumaa hii baada ya kupotea kwa mwezi mzima tangu maandamano dhidi ya serikali kuanza nchini. Kuachiliwa kwao kumeambatana na kusafishwa kwa aliyekuwa kaimu inspekta jenerali wa polisi Gilbert Masengeli aliyekuwa ni aanze hukumu ya miezi 6 hii leo kwa kukosa kujibu mahakama waliko watatu hao. Mwanahabari wetu Bridget Ngana ana maelezo zaidi.
Kwa majina naitwa Longton Jamil Hashim, na mimi nawashukuru wa Kenya watu waliosimama na sisi.
Video hii ilirekodiwa baada ya Jamil Longton na nduguye Nadhif kuachiliwa na watekaji wao mapema asubuhi katika kaunti ya Kiambu. Wawili hawa inadaiwa walitekwa nyara na watu wasiojulikana tarehe 19 Agosti eneo la Kitengela, kaunti ya Kajiado, mita chache kutoka walikoishi.
Tumeweza kuachiliwa leo usiku kwa kuamkia leo sehemu ya Gashie kwa kichaka, na tukatembea hadi tukapata estate moja. Hapo ndio tukaomba mahali tukacharge simu na tukaweza kucommunicate na familia kwa tumewachiliwa na tuko hai.
Nashukuru wa Kenya kwa kusimama na sisi. Tumeachiliwa leo yani masaa kuamkia usiku wa leo kuamkia asubuhi hii.
Kuachiliwa kwao pia kuliambatana na mkondo aliochukuliwa Bob Njagi, ambaye pia alitekwa nyara kutoka katika gari la umma kwa wakati sawa na kina Longton. Haya yalithibitishwa na rais wa chama cha mawakili nchini Faith Odhiambo kupitia mtandao wake wa X. Ikizingatiwa pia chama hicho kimekuwa kikiisukuma serikali kwa dhati kutoa maelezo ya waliko vijana hao. Haya yanajiri siku moja baada ya mkewe Jamil Longton kumwandikia rais barua na kumtaka aingilie kati kuhusu usalama wa mumewe na jamaa wake, huku naibu mkuu wa polisi Gilbert Masengeli akifika mahakamani kuomba radhi kutokana na kifungo chake cha miezi 6 baada ya kukaidi amri ya kujibu waliko watatu hawa. Kulingana na tovuti ya Missing Persons, watu 37 walitoweka katika mazingira ya kutatanisha baada ya maandamano yaliyoingia upeo wake Juni tarehe 25. Watu 23 bado wamo rumande, huku watu 100 wakipatikana wakiwa hai na watu 8 kufariki. Bridget Ngana, NTV.
Asante Ngana kwa taarifa hiyo. Tusalie mahakamani, mtazamaji. Ni kwamba mahakama kuu imeharamisha fedha za hazina ustawi wa maeneo bunge ukipenda NGCDF na kusema kwamba ni kinyume na katiba. Jopo la majaji watatu pia limeipa serikali miaka 2 kuvunjilia mbali hazina hiyo na kusema kwamba inakiuka dhamira ya ugatuzi kwa kujenga ngazi zingine za ziada. Majaji hao wanasema kwamba uwepo wa CDF ni njia moja ya ubadhirifu wa fedha za umma. Hazina hiyo ilikuwa imetengewa shilingi bilioni 53 katika mwaka wa kifedha wa 2024-25.
The National Government Constituencies Development Fund Act of 2015 as amended in 2022 and 2023 is hereby declared unconstitutional. 2. That the National Government Constituencies Development Fund and all its projects, programs and activities shall cease to operate at the stroke of midnight on 30th June 2026.
Na mtazamaji, turudi kwa taarifa yetu kwa siku ya leo, ambapo jaji wa mahakama kuu Lawrence Mugambi amemwondolea naibu inspekta jenerali wa polisi Gilbert Masengeli kifungo cha miezi 6 alichompa mwenyewe Ijumaa iliyopita. Hii ni baada ya Masengeli kujiwasilisha mwenyewe mbele ya jaji huyo na kuomba msamaha. Mwanahabari wetu David Mudoka amerejea kutoka mahakamani na taarifa ifuatayo.
I swear by the name of Almighty God.
Baada ya miaka ya kuwaweka watu wakiwemo wahalifu sugu kizimbani, naibu inspekta jenerali wa polisi Gilbert Masengeli, pengine kwa mara ya kwanza maishani mwake, alisimama mwenyewe kizimbani Ijumaa mchana. Zikiwa zimesalia saa chache arushwe ndani kwa kifungo cha miezi 6 alichokabidhiwa na jaji Lawrence Mugambi kwa kukosa kufika mbele yake mara 7 mtawalia, Masengeli hakuwa na budi kusimama hapa kwa zaidi ya saa 1.5 kueleza mbona alikaidi mahakama mara 7.
It was not a deliberate failure because I had also requested my assistant to come and represent me and the legal officer to do the same, my lord.
Majibu yake hata hivyo hayakuridhisha upande wa chama cha mawakili nchini LSK uliokuwa umemshtaki Masengeli kwa jaji Mugambi kufuatia kutekwa nyara kwa wanaharakati watatu katika eneo la Kitengela na watu wanaoshukiwa kuwa maafisa wake Masengeli. Kupatikana kwa watatu hao mapema Ijumaa kunasadifiana na siku ambayo Masengeli alifika mahakamani kushawishi jaji Mugambi amuondolee kifungo cha miezi 6.
My lord, that is subject to investigation as police officers will have to go further and investigate. Also have a
wakati mmoja maswali ya mawakili kwa Masengeli yalionekana kumlemea, huku mawakili waliowakilisha LSK wakidai alikuwa akisaidiwa na kikosi cha mawakili wa serikali waliongozwa na mwanasheria mkuu Dorcas Oduor pamoja na wakili mkuu wa serikali Shadrack Mose.
That is witness. Yeah. Individuals can move away from the witness. Yes, you have the affidavit, Mr. Miller. Yes. If you need to point him to where he needs to look at because it's already adopted, just do it. But don't allow any other person to do it for him.
I want to ask the last question.
Yeah, just that.
Mr. Masengeli, look at the court, listen to my question and give the answer.
Masengeli hata hivyo alimaliza mawasilisho yake na kuomba msamaha kwa kupuuza maagizo ya kufika mahakamani mara 7.
I would like to apologize to the Lordship and the judiciary for the events that have transpired leading to the orders of this court.
Jaji Mogambi aliporejea mahakamani saa 10 kamili kutoa uamuzi wake, alisema alikuwa amekubali msamaha wa Masengeli na kuweka kando kifungo chake cha miezi 6 kwa kuwa alidhihirishia mahakama kuwa yeye ni mtu mpole. Jaji huyo alimalizia kwa kusema amejiondoa kwa kesi zingine alizoletewa zinazomhusu Masengeli. Baada ya kuwasili katika mahakama ya Milimani kama mfungwa siku ya Ijumaa asubuhi, Gilbert Masengeli aliondoka saa 8 baadaye akiwa huru. David Muthoka, NTV, kutoka mahakama kuu ya Milimani, Nairobi.
Asante sana David kwa taarifa hiyo. Je, Masengeli ni msafi kama pamba? Jaji na hujaji atakuwa wewe, lakini wanasema mlandizi husahau lakini mlaganda siku zote hasahau. Tuyache kando ya Masengeli. Kwingineko ni kwamba wakazi waliokuwa na hasira wa kijiji cha Kaai katika eneo bunge la Igembe, kaunti ya Meru, wamemuua na kumchinja ndovu mmoja aliyekuwa amevunja nyumba ya bikizee wa umri wa miaka 90 na kujeruhi watu 3. Tukio hili, mtazamaji, linajiri wakati ambapo migogoro kati ya binadamu na wanyama inaendelea kuripotiwa na kushuhudiwa katika maeneo tofauti ya taifa hili. Mwanahabari wetu Ruth Sarmui Chesenge ana mengi kuhusiana na taarifa hiyo.
Wakazi wa eneo la Igembe ya kati waliamua kukumbatia mseto ule wa jino kwa jino ama na shavu kwa shavu, na moja kwa moja wakamvamia na kumuua ndovu mmoja na kugawana kwa mapande ya mnyama huyo aliyeshambulia na kumuua mzee mmoja mwenye umri wa miaka 90 kutoka eneo la KK.
Ndovu wametoka pande za Tobeto Kiongo wakapitia pande za Ntunene Ward na sasa hivi tuko Kirangondo Ward. Pale mzee Ntoidhibo tu amepata ajali na amepata mkasa na ameuliwa na hawa ndovu walikuwa 2.
Wakazi wanasema kuwa wamekuwa na mazoefu ya ndovu kuwajeruhi wakazi wa Igembe na hivi majuzi 2 waliathirika. Shirika la huduma la wanyamapori limelaumiwa kwa kulaza damu.
Hawa KWS walikuwa wapi kutoka asubuhi? Manake hawa ndovu wamefika hapa saa 12 asubuhi na saa hii ni kama saa 4. Mzee ameuliwa kitu kama saa 1 iliyopita.
Aidha, wamelitaka shirika hilo kugharamia hasara iliyosababishwa na wanyama hao.
Maana mzee ameenda, gharama zote ni serikali ya KWS ndio watasimamia. Hii nyumba imebomolewa na ilipobomolewa mzee ametolewa nyumbani. Alikuwa amelazwa kwa kitanda na ni mzee mwenye umri imeenda.
Tukio hili linajiri siku 2 baada ya simba mmoja kuuawa katika mji wa Samburu, kaunti ya Kwale. Simba huyo alifariki baada ya kunaswa kwenye mtego uliowekwa na wakazi wa kijiji hicho kutokana na ongezeko la uvamizi wa wanyama hao. Wakazi walilaumu maafisa wa KWS kuchelewa kushughulikia visa vya mashambulizi ya wanyama. Ruth Sarmui Chesenge, NTV.
Asante Ruth. Mtazamaji, tusonge mbele katika taarifa ya tanzia. Ni kwamba maafisa 2 wa akiba na mfugaji mmoja wameuawa na majahili katika kijiji cha Kuka, Igembe Kaskazini, kaunti ya Meru. Wakazi wameeleza jinsi maafisa hao waliangamia katika makabiliano makali ambayo yaliibuka kati yao na takriban wezi 50 wa mifugo walioshambulia watu katika eneo hilo. Wezi hao waliiba bunduki zilizoaminika kuwa za maafisa hao walioangamia kando, huku wezi hao wanaoaminika kutoka katika kaunti ya Samburu wakitoroka na mifugo mbalimbali. Maafisa wa polisi hata hivyo wamerejesha baadhi ya mifugo walioibwa. Wakazi wamelaumu waziri wa usalama Profesa Kithure Kindiki kwa kile wanachosema ni kukosa kudhibiti visa hivi vya majambazi katika eneo hilo, kwani wengi wanaendelea kupoteza maisha yao.
Tuliweza kupoteza watu 3 na 2 wao wakiwemo ni maofisa wetu wa NPR na moja akiwa mfugaji.
kama tungekuwa na KPR wengi, kwa sababu KPR wale wamechaguliwa wote wamepelekwa either pande hizi zingine where there is no insecurity. Kwetu Amwadhi ndio mambo yote ya insecurity iko.
Tunaomba Kindiki atuongezee watu wengine, kwa maana kama vita ya njana mara nyingine ile sinda kubwa, serikali naye wakati tunapewa hivi bunduki tunapewa risasi fote. Kama hii mwenzangu alikufa njana, alingangana na hii watu tu, wadi risasi kakwisa.
Na mtazamaji, katika tanzia nyingine ni kwamba hali ya wasiwasi imetanda katika shule ya upili ya wasichana ya Kibirigwi huko Kirinyaga baada ya mlinzi wa shule hiyo kuuawa na majambazi waliokuwa wameiteka shule hiyo usiku wa kuamkia leo. Kamishna wa Kirinyaga Hussein Alaso amesema kwamba majambazi hao pia waliwateka nyara na kuwafunga kwa kamba naibu mwalimu mkuu na mlinzi mwingine mmoja. Alaso ameongezea kwamba majambazi hao pia walivuruga afisi zote ambapo walivunja kamera za CCTV na baadaye kutoroka wakitumia gari la naibu mwalimu mkuu pamoja na simu zake. Kamishna huyo amewahakikishia wakazi kwamba wanafunzi wako salama usalmin na kwamba wameanza uchunguzi wa kina.
Kwa zuia, lakini wakaweza kupiga mlinzi moja, wakamuumiza vibaya, na huyo mlinzi akakimbizwa hospitali na kwa bahati mbaya akaaga kule akiwa anaelekezwa kupata matibabu. Lakini kile ambacho tunaweza kusema ya kwamba wanafunzi wako salama, uchunguzi umeanzishwa na tunataka kuhakikisha ya kwamba tutafuata hii, tuhakikisha kwamba hao wakora wameweza kukamatwa.
Na mtazamaji, na kwa taarifa hiyo kutoka Kirinyaga naomba tutamatishe awamu ya kwanza, lakini naona mtandaoni Nyinja anasema kaende, nami namalizia kusema NTV kende. Lunganyi Clinton anasema natazama taarifa kuntu nikiwa Nanglikona. Mambo swafi. Tuchukue pumziko fupi, lakini tuna mengi, tuangalie yajayo.
Tumeachana na mbwa, tunaenda kwa mwenyewe.
Wandani wa naibu rais wadai Rais Ruto ndiye mpanga njama ya kumtimua Gachagua afisini.
There are a lot of things you can pick in life, just not your age or medical conditions.
So hii family iko na asthma, iko na diabetes na iko na arthritis. Itabidi mmefanya medical exam kwanza. Sana kabla mzee afike 60. Na pia preconditions ziko na limits.
If she was getting Shwari medical cover, hangekuwa na easy stress. Cause with Shwari, una access full limit kutumia unavyohitaji. Ukiona Shwari, utawahi sikia umepitisha limit ya preconditions na bado uko na pesa imebaki. Bonyeza *371# kuchukua Shwari medical cover leo.
Introducing Festive Cakes.
We have some delightful snacks for all of you.
The Festive Simbella Cake. Indulge in the pleasure of a cone-shaped cake that's bursting with flavors.
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Festive cupcakes.
Thank you.
Perfect treat to share with friends and family.
Now for your kids' school snacks, hakuna stress.
Festive drink cakes. The perfect blend of sweetness and softness.
And now this is for you, Dad, and your office mate.
Festive pound cake. This sumptuous cake will leave you craving for more. Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh Boran beef cuts starting at 599 shillings per kg. Grapes Red Pack 500 grams at 275 shillings. Daima butter 500 grams at 599 shillings. Assorted Sunlight powder 1 kg at 242 shillings. And Kenwood steam iron at 2,375 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, fahari yangu inaendelea kutazama taarifa za NTV Weekendi. Vita vya Rais William Ruto na naibu wake Rigathi Gachagua sasa vimechukua mkondo wa vilivyokuwa kati ya Rais mstaafu Uhuru Kenyatta na naibu wake wakati huo William Ruto. Wandani wa naibu rais hii leo wamemtolea kucha Rais Ruto kwa kile wanachodai kwamba ni yeye kupanga njama ya kumtimua Gachagua afisini, wakisema sasa wamechoka na umbwa wanaobweka na badala yake wanamwendea mmiliki wa umbwa hao. Ibrahim Karanja anaarifu.
Kumekuwa na joto kali la kisiasa dhidi ya Gachagua kutoka kwa watu waliokuwa pamoja naye. Ilianza na wabunge 13 wa eneo la Mlima Kenya Mashariki waliosema hawana imani naye, kisha wakazuka wenzao 48 kutoka magharibi mwa mlima, halafu wawakilishi wadi na wazee kadhaa wakasema Gachagua hatoshi, wanataka mabadiliko.
Ati wanatafuta wajumbe, wanapatia pesa ati wanitoe kwa kiti ya naibu wa rais. Mumesikia hiyo maneno? Wenye kuchagua mimi ni nyinyi ama ni hawa? Wenye kuchagua mimi ni nyinyi ama ni hawa? Sisi tukitaka kuambia hawa, kama mko na shida na Rigathi Gachagua, mkuja mshitaki yeye kwa hawa wananchi hawa.
Na imefika wakati wa kuongea. Tumeachana na umbwa, tunaenda kwa mwenyewe. Tumeachana na umbwa, tunaenda kwa nani? Kwa mwenyewe.
Kwa hivyo tunataka kumwambia Ndosi ambaye ni rais wa jamhuri, wewe umetukera sana na tumekuona mahali unatuelekeza na unatupeleka kwa simu kama jamii ya mlima, na tutakataa. Hatutakubali kuendelea hiyo barabara. Wewe unataka kuanda mlima, umebeba grupu ya wabunge, umewajaza kwako State House kila siku na kuwapatia mandora, lakini ukumbuke kura siko crowd, kura hasiko na hao. Ati wanataka waondoe Rigathi Gachagua, walete kibaraka yao, si ndio? Ati waweke mtu ya kukatwa namna hii, kwa sababu mimi nasimama kidete na haki ya raia, na mimi sikwezi kubalia Wakenya wafinyiliwe.
Wiki iliyopita alipokuwa Nyeri, rais alitahadharisha kampeni ya mapema.
Huko 2027 ni Mungu na wananchi ndio wataamua.
Lakini huwezi kuturusisha na wewe bado uko kwa siasa ya 2027 na unatuambia tuachane nayo.
Hatusemi bottom, sasa ni ground up.
Lakini hata akijitetea Nairobi, kuni katika moto dhidi yake ulizidi kuongezwa, gavana wa Tharaka Nithi Muthomi Njuki akijitosa kwenye vita hivi.
Sasa kama Kindiki ndiye anafikia rais na anapeleka ujumbe wetu, kwani tutakataa kusema ni yeye? Wakati zinapangwa zinagawa, tukiangalia pale mbele yule tulituma hayuko, wacha tutume wale watu wanafanya nini? Wanafika.
Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.
Lakini tunamwambia haiwezekani.
Asante sana Karanja kwa taarifa hiyo. Wanamuita mzee wa ukweli, na ni kama ukweli sasa unakwenda kujulikana. Tusalie na chama kinachohusishwa bado na mzee wa ukweli, na ni kwamba vijana wa UDA wametofautiana na msimamizi wa uchumi bunifu na miradi maalum Dennis Itumbi katika nia ya kuwahusisha kwenye mpango wa kufanikisha ajenda za serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, ikiwemo mkataba wa kupeana uwanja wa kimataifa wa ndege wa JKIA kwa kampuni ya Wahindi ya Adani, pamoja na kuidhinisha mfumo mpya wa kuwafadhili wanafunzi wa elimu ya juu. Itumbi anadai kwamba kutokana na uzinduzi wa UDA Comrade Chapter, basi vijana watakuwa mabalozi wa ajenda za Rais William Ruto. Tazama.
I will also be recruiting you to go and explain the Adani issue in the airport. JKIA, for instance. I will explain. Give me time. Let me explain Adani. It's okay. You will have your say. Let me have my say. On Adani, JKIA was built in 1978 to cater for only 7 million passengers per year. As we speak today, JKIA is almost hitting 21 million passengers. There is absolutely no way, as a responsible country, you can continue having an airport that was built to accommodate 7 to squeeze 21 million people. Our neighbors in Rwanda, it's okay. We don't have to agree.
It is your moment to make your voices heard through this chapter. I want to see that the first presentation of views to the task force on the new education financing model, coming from yourselves as UDA Comrades chapter.
Langu jicho, salamu zimfikie Hassan Mwana wa Ali. Pumziko fupi, twarudi na michezo, usiende mbali.
Usiachwe nyuma. Join us at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Register by visiting www.nairobimarathon.com and help us move Kenya forward. Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Run, embrace possibility.
Are you ready for the Leadership as a Game Changer Summit?
Let's talk leadership. If management is IQ, we think it. Leadership is EQ, we feel it. I feel very strongly that culture is more powerful than strategy. And when I say culture, I mean the way we get things done around here. Come to our summit. Come to the Leadership Summit. My name's Rene Carroll, and I've had the privilege of coaching some of the best leaders in the world. Not every one of them was a leader when we kicked off.
Join the best leadership coach at the Movenpick Hotel, Nairobi, on 24th September 2024 from 7:30 a.m.
UNISERV Education brings you a study abroad fair happening from the 19th to September 23rd, with over 100 university delegates attending in Mombasa on the 19th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Nairobi on the 21st from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Eldoret on the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Entry and registration is free. Head over to www.uniserveducation.com to register now.
Good morning, Peter.
We believe in ideas that can change the world.
Striver and believer. At ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us, because your story matters. ABSA.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, ni wakati wa kuleta michezo kazini, ambapo zaidi ya wanagofu 290 walijiunga leo kwenye shindano la gofu la benki ambalo lilidhaminiwa na Mastercard katika klabu ya Royal Golf Nairobi. Shindano hilo ni baadhi ya michezo 44 ya mashindano ya benki nchini ambayo yalianza mwezi wa Septemba. Mwanaspoti wetu Elijah Ouko anatueleza zaidi.
Makala ya 39 ya mashindano ya benki ilinoa nanga asubuhi na mapema tarehe 20 Septemba, huku wanagofu wakijitosa uwanjani katika klabu ya Royal Golf mjini Nairobi. Makala ya mwaka huu yameletwa na Mastercard.
We are not a direct to customer company. We work with banks, with telcos, with governments, with merchants, with fintechs. So we enrich the customer value proposition for our customers to then pass it down to the end consumer.
Gofu ni mojawapo ya michezo 44 iliyoandaliwa na chama cha benki za Kenya, huku mabingwa watetezi wakiwa benki kuu ya Kenya.
Learn from each other, get to discuss what is happening in the industry, common or upcoming, risk things in the industry. So it's a very good platform for people to meet.
Kampuni ya Mastercard imejitahidi kuleta maendeleo katika sekta ya teknolojia na wamezindua pete ambayo itatumiwa kulipia bidhaa.
I control everything that goes in this ring from my phone. I can switch this ring off, I can switch it on, and I can put in small amounts or medium amounts, So it's a very well controlled solution.
Toleo la mwaka huu litahusisha mabingwa wa Kenya wakipambana na mabingwa wa nchi zingine za Afrika Mashariki kwa mara ya kwanza katika historia.
Been able to really capacity build other countries as far as bringing banks together to be able to collaborate and engage. So we've done so well in other areas, including research and other themes. So now sport is also coming in to just be part of the menu.
Elijah Ouko, NTV Michezo.
Asante uko imara. Kikosi cha taifa cha wanawake cha raga, wachezaji 15 kila upande, kilipata ushindi mnono wa alama 63 kwa 19 dhidi ya Madagascar katika mechi ya kimataifa iliyoandaliwa ugani RFA mjini Nairobi. Madagascar walitangulia kwa kufunga alama za kwanza, lakini Kenya ikajizatiti na kupata jibu muda mfupi baadaye kupitia mchezaji Stella Wafula. Kikosi hicho almaarufu Kenya Lioness kilipata motisha na kufunga alama zingine 31, huku wachezaji Grace Okulu, Fresha Owino, Maureen Chebet wakiyafunga mabao hayo. Kenya ikawa kileleni kwa alama 36-14 katika muda wa mapumziko. Katika kipindi cha pili, wenyeji waliwaduaza wapinzani wao kutoka kisiwa cha Madagascar baada ya kufunga alama 27.
The bounce yet again. The bounce is good, falling into the bread basket of Freshia Oduor.
Heko mabanati wetu. Waziri wa michezo Kipchumba Murkomen ametangaza kwamba atakutana na shirikisho linaloshughulikia masuala ya viwanja nchini ili kutathmini ni lini uwanja wa Kirigiti utakapomalizika. Murkomen alifanya ziara hii leo, huku akisema kwamba anaridhishwa na kazi ilivyofanyika kufikia sasa. Aidha alisema kwamba wajenzi wanatarajiwa kukamilisha maeneo muhimu, ikiwa ni pamoja na kujenga viti, kustawisha miundombinu na teknolojia, na vilevile kukamilisha uwanja mzima. Murkomen aliandamana na mbunge wa eneo hilo Machua Waidhaka na afisa mkuu wa michezo katika kaunti ya Kiambu Ali Korar.
The facility was constructed way back in the 2020, but it has stalled over time because of issues related to funding. The contractor has been ready to hand over to us, but there is a phase that has not been fully completed, but also there is a funding gap.
Na mtazamaji, leo Ateta hajateta, lakini anaya kusema ni kwamba mkufunzi wa Arsenal Mikel Arteta ako na imani kwamba atazoa alama zote 3 Jumapili ijayo pindi atakapokutana na vijana wake kuchuana na Manchester City katika ligi kuu ya kandanda nchini Uingereza. Arsenal ilitoka sare tasa na wapinzani wao Atlanta katika mechi ya ligi kuu ya bara Ulaya hapo jana usiku.
Tonight, and something that we've done exceptionally well tonight, do them as well, because we do not have the performance that we all know to beat them.
Mtazamaji, kufikia hapo sina la ziada, naomba kutamatisha. Wanasema utamu wa safari si kutembea pekee, lakini kufika. Namuona John Paul Mondi anasema taarifa kuntu. Douglas Kuku Bungoma inatazama, na Mr. Slim anasema ilikuwa vyema kabisa kukutazama Lofty na kikosi kizima. Kwa wote waliofanikisha mpango huu akiongozwa na mhariri Paul Nabiswa, nasema asanteni sana. Naitwa Lofty Matambo, Flora Tieno kwenye chumba cha ishara, na kutakia usiku mwanana, lakini kama kawaida tujifunze Kiswahili kwenye neno la siku. Kwaheri.
This is NTV.
Borrow up to 1 million Kenya shillings from as low as 1.2% with a top-up anytime you need. Dial *522# or apply on the KCB app today. The KCB mobile loan. Unbelievably flexible, incredibly affordable. KCB, for people, for better. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Usiachwe nyuma. Join us at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Register by visiting www.nairobimarathon.com and help us move Kenya forward. Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Run. Embrace.
Take a barrel of your soup and Dove. Use yours on one side, Dove on the other. The soup part feels rough. The Dove side is softer, smoother, and more radiant. With 1/4 moisturizing cream, Dove deeply nourishes for radiant skin all over. Try Dove and feel the difference.
Coffee to both baby and the new Morphix diapers. With its cottony soft texture and 3 times faster absorbent channels, the new Morphix diapers help to prevent rash. Morphix, comfy like a mom's hug.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh Boran beef cuts starting at 599 shillings per kg. Grapes Red Pack 500 grams at 275 shillings. Daima butter 500 grams at 599 shillings. Assorted Sunlight powder 1 kg at 242 shillings. And Kenwood steam iron at 2,375 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm your host Dr. Kingori Maze. Episode ya leo ni one that we have tried to set up for a bit na imekuwa noma sana, but thank goodness. Our first guest ni boxer, hatari sana, represent the country on very many levels, but he's also a prison warder, like officially. Hiyo ndio job yake. Rayton Okwiri is in the house. Kaploti had done 5 years at some point at the Committee Maximum Prison, and we wanted to know the experience na relation ya msia akiwa ndani na akiwa msia akiwa ndani vile ana relate na wasee na msia akiwa nje vile anaza relate na makarao. Thank you very much for making time for us. Kaploti is in the house. Kama ungekuwa unajua Kaploti. Kaploti?
Yeah, namezea sana.
Unamjua?
Yeah, namezea, shamuonaona.
Uko ndani?
Na the funny thing, Okwiri alikuwa na train kwa DO Boka Kayole.
Yeah.
Alikuwa na train huko. But sikuwahi jua tutakutana neti.
Ngoja, ulimmeet before upelekwe ndani?
Yeah. Alikuwa na train Boka kwa DO Kayole.
ukaenda ukammituko.
Sasa na mimi
tulijuliana nje tambo before tulijuliana nje, so huku kuletwa huko akashtuka ya kumbe unakuanga huku ndani bwana.
Aya.
Yeah.
Hakuwa anajua.
Hakuwa anajua.
But hiyo hakuna mazee ni boys wa mtaa mazee. Hakuna hiyo.
Hapana. Kila mtu anafuata shughuli yake. Unajua Sivinya amekwambia vizuri sana. Mimi nimemleta pale, yeye ameletwa pale. Yes. Ameletwa kwa area yangu.
Na what was your reaction vile ulienda ukamkuta yeye ukuanga huko ndani?
Kitu ya kwanza vile nilimkuta huko ndani, nilifurahi juu nilijua hapa kidogo Mororo itakuwa kubwa, ndakuwa nikiekea waseme bigi. Na nilijua pia ndasukuma namba kwa sababu pia ukiwa na afisa mwenye anakujua mambo yako inakuaga kidogo, namba yako uanywe yu Teresa. Yeah.
Na Riton, kuna wasenyi hurumia like mse akikuja, kuna mse unaweza hurumia by the fact that ako hapo, but akishakuwa hapo ashakuwa.
Ya unajua kuna watu wengi sana pale. Kama kuna wengine napata kotini, akitoka kotini anapigwa faini ya kama kuna mwingine kwa anampigwa amekaa pale ndani kwa sababu ya 350 peke yake. So 350. Na wengine wanataka kuenda nje juu kule ndani siku hizi tunajua siku hizi kuna hii human rights siku hizi wao wafungwa wapigwi kama kitambo.
Yes.
So tunachukua kama binadamu kama sisi, tunaongea nao wanatusikiza. Yeah.
So 350 bob imemuingiza ndani.
Hata kutoka nje sasa unajua wengi wanapiga hesabu huku nje na alipa rent. Apata kupata food ni shida. Sasa unapata afadhali aishi tu kule ndani, manake kule anakula 3 meals a day na anaishi poa, security iko sawa.
Do you know ukisema hivyo ati hataki kulipa rent, kukaa committee is not a compliment to landlords. When you think about it, like mtu afadhali akae committee lakini asikae home.
Yes.
Na you know there are such kind of people.
Unajua yote inaletwa na ile venye siku hizi jela venye tunachukulia. Siku hizi nowadays tunachukulia wafungwa kama binadamu. Si kama kitambo ilikuwa tofauti sana na wakati wa sahi. Yeah.
Okay. Na is the person mwenye amekuja hapo, unajua story ya huyu jamaa ako hapa tu juu ya Trichwani. Unajua huyu jamaa ni tenant, si mfungwa.
Unajua kuna wengine ni ma customer. Yaani mtu ametoka hii wiki, then next week utapata tena amerudi.
Unajua anakam.
Yes, wengi hufanya makosa tu kusudi manake. Yule uko ndani ni kwa comfortable tumeweka vizuri.
Mauru wa jela.
Wait. Wewe umekuwa huko. From his perspective, kuna wase enjoy jela hivyo. Unajua tunaweza isema kama jokes, kuna wase enjoy.
Yeah, ni ukweli. Kuna watu tu wanafurahi aende arudi. So in short huo ni mauru wa jela. Juu yeye anaamini huko ndio kwao. Anaamini pale atapata Mororo itakuwa kubwa, akifika hivi anakaribishwa kama mfalme.
Mororo ni ile sani yao ile aluminium ile. Huyo akukiwa food.
Yeah. Okay. So na mtu kama huyo anaweza badilika. Tuseme let's say for example anapenda kuishi huko. Right? Mse kama huyo anaweza badilishwa na jela.
Jela inakuwa vitu ni mara mbili. Either ubadilike ama ukue wasi.
True.
Okay. Pia huko kuna mafundi wengi sana.
Na wewe kama askari unajuanga huyu jamaa ni bad news yenye are there people wenye wakiachiliwa unaweza ogopa?
Wengi sana, majority.
Lakini wanarudi tu.
Ni sheria. Kuna watu wakiachiliwa hapa Nairobi 5 tu watahangaisha sana.
Si ile kuhangaisha ile ya kuvuruga, si ile ya
Nakwambia.
Na mnawajua?
Wako.
But there is nothing you can do. Kama mtu amemaliza time yake, amemaliza time yake.
Wengine wamefunga miaka kama 30, wengine 40. Mtu mwingine anakwambia yeye ako comfortable ya kukaa ndani.
Now, what do you think basi would change someone kama jela as tough as people assume it to be, inakuanga watu wengine wako beyond that? Ukipata mtu jela iwezi msaidia, huyo anaweza saidiwaje?
So unajua sasa inabidi tu yeye atumike tu venye kilingana atumike venye koti imemwamulia kaya hapo.
Okay.
Kama hizo badilika sasa mtafanyaje? Tunafuata tu sheria venye koti imesema.
Dunia.
Abadilishwe na dunia.
Juu pia kubadilika huwa ni kutaka kwa mtu. Kuna watu wanaingia, hata the time niko committee kuna watu walikuwa wanaingia. Anaingia akiwa fala, mono, fresha. Lakini the time anatoka, yeye ni kinara. So the time anatoka, unasikia mtu anakuambia wacha niingie London. Au ndo walilisha. Watajua wajui.
Na kuna mtu anatoka anasema Jo, naomba nikitoka kwa hizi mlango nisiwahi rudi kwa hizi mlango. So those are two different type of people.
Okay.
Kuna mtu pia anapanda ngazi, unapata haka kalikuwa kamgondi kanjaa, ni mwizi wa mandizi. Anaenda pale, anafundishwa, anajua kutumia jembe. Anapanda kwa jembe. Akienda kwa jembe, story inabadilika.
Kwa farming kidogo. Like jembe ni bunduki, I assume.
Ni bunduki.
Na ndizi ni just food, mtu wa kuiba tu.
Marikiti hapa tu, kuwadhora.
Yeah. na kuna cases za, na hiyo si makosa yenu, ya watu wameingia huko wakiwa innocent. Kuna watu kama askari unaweza ona, unajua huyu wenyewe hakuwaifanya kitu but ameshaingia. Do they get different treatment ama ukishaingia ushaingia
unafuata kitu ile zile sheria ziko pale ndani, hizo ndio utafuata. Hakuna favor ama janini,
hakuna cha nini. Na
wewe kama aidha mkali, sheria ni sheria.
So wewe kama askari, hata ukijua huyu jamaa, juu niko sure nyi pia ni wajanja, nyi mnaweza jua huyu jamaa kufanya hii kitu ama huyu jamaa alikuwa, you still cannot do anything.
Unajua sura mtu isikudanganye kwamba huyu jamaa kufanya kitu. Unaweza pata wale wa software zile vitu wamefanya, unaweza shtuka sana.
Yeah. Na niko sure mlikuwa mnajua stories za ukwiri mkiwa huko ndani, mkikosana na yeye na ako na boxing match. Unaweza muombea aende ule opponent a deal na yeye on your behalf. As in, do you support him as your countryman? Kwa na hiyo situation ya
ukwiri akienda majuu, hiyo obvious mimi nataka apige watu videvu huko mbaya sana.
Hata kama alikupiga videvu ukiwa huko. Kuna kuangana hiyo.
Unajua kuna kitu inaitwa patriotism, yani sasa hiyo una root for your man because huu ni mtu wa mtaani. So mimi nataka wafinye huko akamna medal. Unaona?
Hawezi kutana na yeye akienda, unajua ako na walk
huko prison vile kuna fans wengi sana. Kuna certain blocks hapa pale ninafanya. Nikiingia nikaa kupigwa mafua. Yaani ukiangalia karibu maboi wote hapo nikaa unameza karibu wote. So maboi kama hao lazima ukae nao poa,
ukae nao karibu.
Yeah, watu kama binadamu.
Unajua ukwiri hata ende mtaani, ukwiri ni ngumu sana anyongwe.
Siju ya training ama?
Ukwiri anajulikana sana. So wale wagondi wote wanatoka, kama kuna wale wanarudia hii shughuli, wakipatana na ukwiri, buda umeniwekea ile kitanda yangu tu poa.
Is there an advantage ya wewe kukua, wewe ni prison warder but you're also boxing to the country, for the country?
Yes, hiyo ndio advantage nimekuwa manake unajua kwanza nashukuru Kenya Prisons kwanza. Me being a boxer wamenipatia ile full time. Niweza kwa kama mfano niko na game mimi train asubuhi, juu session zetu ni asubuhi jioni. So uwezi ni hard sana upate umemix ati umesema umeingia job asubuhi afu uingie tizi tena, itakuwa ni hard. So nashukuru prison sana, wana sport hiyo elite athletes.
Yes.
Unachilianga you train ndio uweze kuperform vizuri.
Na ukiwin medal ni yako ama ni ya country?
Ni ya country. Ni yako na ya country. So kwanza ukiwin medal kwanza ni yangu. Kenya.
So wewe uenda nayo home?
Yeah. Medal zangu ziko home.
Niliambiwa ati nyi athletes ukipigana tuseme kama ukimake the country proud unakuwa promoted. Ukipigwa unademotiwa?
No, huwezi demotiwa. Maana unajua it's sports, kuna kushinda na kushindwa. Unaona?
Yes.
So when you are going for the competition lazima kuna nguvu hili. Either kuna mmoja atashinda na mwingine atashindwa.
Okay. So. Na kuna tuseme what's the prize yenye kuna kitu bado unapewa na prize ya ni aje umeenda ukavaana ukashinda utakuja upige promotion.
Kwa mfano ndio mimi nikuja ni promotiwe nipewe the rank of sergeant. Niliweza kushinda belt ya Africa 2019 realization. But before that nilikuwa ni promoted, nilikuwa nimeshinda a lot of medal ambao unapata hiyo time uongozi ambao ulikuwa huo wakati wetu hakuwa na consider ile commitment ambayo na ile kujitolea nilikuwa nimejitolea kwa sports. So nilikuwa naambia tu congratulations, lakini inabaki hivyo.
But after vitu zili change?
Yeah, so after vitu zili change ndio maana nikapromotiwa.
Quick clarification, ukisema uli win belt ya Africa, does it mean that Africa mzima tukikuja one by one unaweza tufanyia ile kitu?
Na wamonda sana. Kama unacheza boxing
one by one.
Unajua boxing iko na weight categories.
Yes.
Kuna light fly, bantam, lightweight, light welter, middle, light heavy na super heavy. So kwa mfano wewe unaweza kuwa ni kama feather bantam hapo. Unajua ni jina tu. Si ati feather tu.
Hebu waambie hiyo part ya jina tu. Waambie tu, explain hiyo jina tu juu hakuna vile utaniangalia tu hivi uniweke kwa manyoya. Hakuna vile utaniangalia tu hivi uniweke kwa manyoya.
Kile binadamu anakuanga na uzito wake. But ukiangalia microphone nikiangalia uzito wake kama wewe uniambia kuna kilo nikikuangalia hivi una range between 65 to 75 hapo katikati. Unaona? So unaweza pata huyu anaweza kuwa ni middleweight ama welterweight.
So ukitaka kujua kama unaweza piga mtu unafaa umuinue kwanza.
Okay, mkienda kwa competition lazima mpimwe weight. Lazima kilo zangu na zako ziwe zinatoshana. Mimi siwezi pigana na mtu
mnono kukushinda.
Mtu weight kunishinda.
Huwezi pigana na Deontay Wilder.
Ni ukweli.
Haya, na ukiwa prison, kuna ma prisoner hivyo unapima na macho. Kenya wanapima vitu mingi sana na macho. Hivyo unapima na macho, kuna prisoner unaangalianga hivi unajambia huyu tukipata na kona mbaya anaweza nifanya vibaya.
Mbaya sana. Kuna wengine maordinary wanasema huyu ni hatari. Unaweza nifinya bwana.
The new KCB mobile loan is unbelievably flexible and incredibly affordable. You can now borrow up to 1 million Kenya shillings from as low as 1.2% as a 1-day, 7-day, 14-day, 30-day loan, or enjoy a longer term period of up to 1 year at competitive rates with a top-up anytime you need. Dial *522# or apply on the KCB app today. The KCB mobile loan. Unbelievably flexible, incredibly affordable. KCB, for people, for better. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Is Dove better than ordinary soap? We're going to prove it. Take a bar of your soap and Dove. Use yours on one side, Dove on the other. The soap part feels rough. The Dove side is softer, smoother, and more radiant. With 1/4 moisturizing cream, Dove deeply nourishes for radiant skin all over. Try Dove and feel the difference.
Amkeni bana, kamerudi! Ndio yule. Cheki greatness tupu. Roiko kazuri kadogo kamerudi na bado kana donjo. Pata mchuzi halisi kwa shilingi 5 tu, available at your nearest kiosk.
Sikia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu Ayaya kituka na shika yami ina flow kama maji tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu moja juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, sijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juu ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, usijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juni.
At Stima Sacco, we are a reflection of you. We are a stable, financially sound institution providing tailor-made services to add value to your life, time, and money. We are guided by your aspiration. We are designed to match your ambition. We are Stima Sacco, a true reflection of you.
Asante sana, welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Conversation interesting sana. As I promised, our guests for this episode are Dr. Zippy Okoth. She's a lecturer, she's an actress, she sings, she does everything. She's a film producer. Zippy Okoth is in the house. Sawa sawa basi, alafu one of the finest comedians in the country, mnamjua, he's also a radio presenter, a man who needs no introduction pia. MCA Tricky is in the house. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Karibuni sana. Last time tulikuwa na Madam Zippy, the first, not the last time, the first time alikuwa anatu lecture on film and theater production in one of the best initiatives. I don't know where zilienda. Again, like mi nikiflosia wase about kusoma film and theater, mi floss kama mse amesomea KU. Because then yes, you are yes. Ulikuwa na lecture at KU then, si ndio? But your story is also interesting. You guys mna approach very different on this episode because number one, you did not join campus to study for theater related activities at first. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, I think I really wanted to study theater, but first of all, that time it was not very popular. In fact, I think we are among the second graduates of theater arts in this country. So when I was joining campus, after arguing with my parents, my mother wanted me to do education, my father wanted me to be a lawyer. But then we all agreed that I'm going to Maseno now to do communication and media studies because at least wameona TV kuna kitu. Not this theater drama thing. It was a thing, yeah. So I went and then I was told we can change courses in campus. Yes. As long as you're registered. Hi, didn't I change? Didn't I keep quiet about it until third year? That's when my mother knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So interesting. After an argument with your parents, you decided to switch courses, went to Fanya Theater.
Yeah.
So before going to study acting, you were acting up.
Yes.
MCA Tricky, legendary. Most people don't know you. Like, watu wameshindangwa kuconnect idea ya chokora na engineer. Right? Most people don't know that you recently actually graduated. Now, that was not what you joined campus for in the first place.
Yes.
What happened?
Nikijoin campus, walininyima my dream course.
Yes.
Wakanipea ingine.
Yes.
But later on nikaingia my dream course. Nikijoin, of course, you are placed. Si wewe unaendanga kujiweka.
Yes.
Think daktari anakubaliana na mimi hapo. You are placed. Unachukuliwa, unaplaceiwa.
Yes.
So sometimes, most of the times, some students wanaplace yangu to some courses that they don't even have an idea ni za nini.
Yes.
So mimi nikijoin Kenyatta University, I niliplaceiwa in the School of Health Sciences.
Health Sciences?
Yes. Nilikuwa kwa school Department of Biochemistry. Ni vitu zingine hapo noma. Kuna vitu zinaitwa nonsense codon hapo. Na genetics ziko hapo mingi. It's a very tough course, but that was not my passion.
Yes.
So later on, I studied biochemistry for 1 full year at KU.
Yes.
Before I switched to my dream.
Yes.
Mechanical engineering. Na haikuwa rahisi. Think daktari hapa atakubaliana na mimi. Walking into these departments, in and out, trying to fill the forms that could change course from one course to the other, intra-faculty transfers, it's not easy.
Dr. Zippy, do you know the kind of suffering that people go through in campus? Like when you go to teach, do you as a teacher kwa wanafunzi in terms of survival? Ama your relationship with students? You came here for this and that's that.
Wacha niseme, I think nowadays almost 10% of my salary goes into my actual students.
Oh.
Yeah, because utaona mwenyewe.
You tithe where you work.
You tithe where you work. Because one, there are students who are actually feeling hungry. You can see they're hungry. Then there are those ones that are very good students, and you can tell that this student is going to miss the whole semester because they can't afford fees.
Yes.
So instead of saying you are helping people on social media, I mean, just help pay for this student. And then the good thing, if they're within your institution, you are not giving them the money. You're paying with their admission number direct, and you're sure, Sasa, he is not going to eat. So
directly.
Yeah, so teaching is a calling. It's not. You are the next parent of these kids.
So wewe as a lecturer, when you go on strike, you just strike for what you donate.
na feel vibaya nilimiss donation zake.
Haukuwa time yake.
Nilikuwa. She was there.
Oh, she was there.
He was not in my class.
But
I
was
didn't
not
interact with him.
Department yake ilikuwa kando, but
Yeah.
kuna wakati nilibra shoulders na department yako. Nilipoanza.
Kwa class yangu mara 3 hivi ningeona uko na njaa.
But sir, how do you tell juu sahi ako poa but bado anakaa ni kama ako na njaa? How do you tell mtu ako na njaa by just looking at them? How do you diagnose that?
You can tell. Umejua sio venye anakaa. Unaona venye ukiangalia raha even ndani ya macho ya mtu, not in the way the skin is.
Yes.
If you look at somebody's eyes, it can tell a lot. Like I can tell whether you're a drug addict or whether you're just hungry.
Really?
Yeah.
You can look at someone like this useme huyu ameonja kitu,
huyu hajaonja kitu. Yeah, I did when I was doing my masters, it was on use of dramatherapy among drug addicts. And I did it at Mathari Drug Rehabilitation Center. And so even in class, I am able to identify students who are taking, all those other stuff. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes, and I approach them and I tell them, stop taking whatever you're taking. And they'll come, madam, where did you see me? I say, if you want to talk, if you want to help, there's help. But you have to stop it or else don't come to my class. But they are very strict on that.
And you know them by, you are specific, like, unajua hii ni bangi, hii ni cocaine, like. Ama you just know you are using something.
No, I may not say hii ni bangi ni cocaine, but I can tell whether hii ni beer too, this is spirits, or now this is bangi and cocaine.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can tell cheap alcohol by just...
Yeah. Almost all students take cheap alcohol.
Wow. Sawa. Umesheka ni kama umegunduliwa.
Sawa.
Cheki.
Karibu anipate.
Karibu akupate. Sasa wewe,
yes.
Are there things umesikia Dr. Zippy akiwa mwalimu kuna vitu anaweza jua? Kuna vitu happen zenye mwalimu hana idea.
Kuna vitu mob ziko behind the scenes zenye mwalimu hana idea. Time nyingine naweza kuja daro na nimeshiba sana. Sababu unajua huko campus ukipata do unakulanga mara moja. Hakuna kubakisha.
Kukula ni one off.
So naweza kam daro na lala, so moja nadhani niko mlevi. Kumbe nimeshiba mpaka ya kesho. Sometimes nawachezea hiyo reverse psychology pia.
Okay.
So but I agree with her that sometimes they can see na waone noma ya comrades. But ile kubwa, hiyo ni the tip of the iceberg. Ile kubwa sasa iko kule kwa hostels ndani.
Na wewe pia ulikuwa shule time ya YY, because YY unajua kuna time alikuwa kwa shule mpaka akituambia mpaka karibu akuwe mwizi wa kisu kampo. Alafu akasema he quit because vile aliingiza kisu hapa kwa mgongo akasikia hiyo kisu ni baridi. Akawachana nayo.
Story ya YY funny enough, hakuna mtu ameshawahi jua hii story. I don't know kama YY shaisema. I slept, sorry, nikisema hivyo naelekea vibaya. Before all this fame and everything, Churchill Show, kila kitu, YY akiwa Oliver Otieno. Tulikuwa tunaishi kwa cubicle moja Kenyatta University. Some hostel called Old Men.
Hapo ndio kuna the lucky
Old Men Engai.
Yes.
Hapo ndo tulipatana na YY. Akiwa Oliver, nikiwa Frank. That's where we started even this kind of acting, kutafuta jokes hapa na pale, even before YY joined Churchill Show.
Yes.
Na tuliteseka na yeye. Nikianza kuconfess hapa, daktari ataandika barua ya blue. Kusurvive campus unahitaji ujanja. You can't survive there ukingoja utumiwe so mbili na mzazi.
What is your take on career choices for students and how it affects them in the job market?
There are two things. Some students are never vocal. Some students don't even know what they want. Let's be realistic about that. When you are told to fill those forms for university education, when you are in, nowadays I hear they do it in Form 3. Some students have totally no clue about what they want to do. So they just know, I want to do engineering. They don't know which type of engineering. So they just type, they just feel anything, you know. They don't know even how to look at their cluster, because by Form 3, you should be able to know the kind of average marks you're getting, which subjects you're good in. If you're not good in sciences, don't feel engineering. If you're not good in languages, don't feel law. Even also, if you're not good in languages, don't feel for film and theater studies. If you know your marks cannot make you do, let me say, engineering, just feel they are Bachelor of Sciences, so that you go to Kenyatta University or University of Nairobi. Because once you are there, you can now do what Dr. Zipiche did. You can change within the institution. You get it?
Yes.
Yeah. So always strive to go to the right university where you've been invited or where you are qualified to go.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can do the necessary.
Tricky represents someone who is in campus now.
Yeah.
Because I understand for campus, there are 2 levels of marriages. You tell us about your time. There's marriage in campus.
Yes.
Only marry ukiwa year what?
And
Ulioa ukiwa KU?
Yeah. Kila mwaka in fact. Kila mwaka.
And you've talked about cohabiting. Kwanza yenu ilikuwaje? What was the agreement? Your marriage ya campo,
marriage ya campo most of the times inakuanga tu ya kuweka pesa za help vizuri. Zizipotelee huku nje, kuziweka vizuri. Because inaishanga zikiisha.
It's a rehearsal for the real marriage.
Yes, yes. Most of the times pale campus guys are there na wamekuja na ile mohae. Yeah. Huku ndo tuliambiwa tutapata wale madem. So ukikabila ule dem mwenye ulikuwa unaambiwa na mwalimu wako high school, ulikuwa unajifeel you are lesser man. You have to look for somebody.
Yes, yes, yes.
Unakaa na yeye. Then of course most of the times campus guys tuna maringi semester ikianza wakati. Unajua semester ya comrade inakuanga kama formation ya Chelsea. Inakuanga 2 3 1 4. Let me explain this. 2 the first 2 weeks bado uko na ile marupurupu ya nyumbani. Uko sawa. 3 weeks zinafuata help inaingia. Sasa hapo ndio peak.
Sasa umeingia.
Mapenzi iko huko. Unapata na comrades wana kiss kila mahali. It's life. Umeelewa? Everywhere they are in love. Then after 3 weeks, those are 5 weeks now of the semester. Pesa inakatika. There is 1 week of confusion na kukosana. 1 week ya confusion, kukosana, you don't know what you are going to do, the exams na approach, hauna pesa. Then the last 4 weeks is ni hell. No one wants to be called baby, na unipay do. No one wants your love, na you umpati chochote. Kama ni dem, wanaanza kucheza nje ya campus sasa.
Like seriously.
That is the reality.
Na ni cycle.
Yes,
next semester pia unarudi tena.
La sasa huwezi rudi na ule wala same sasa cause. Unajua the last 4 weeks mlishaachana mkasahau kabisa kuhusu hiyo. So the next semester you start afresh.
Fresh marriage.
Tano mpya.
Allah.
Yeah, that is the cycle.
Na and how does this affect academics? Ama ni system ishakuwa accepted?
I think ni system yenye pia. It affects of course because kwa hiyo formation nimeeleza manze unakujanga kuanza kufikiria mambo ya masomo vizuri.
Yes.
3rd week, 4th week.
Ile time umesota.
Ile
time sasa ukameumana.
Maybe no wonder wametoa help. Like on average
wasijaribu.
How wametoa? Nasikia hivyo. On average basi mtu anaweza oa mara ngapi, like conservative figures?
Conservative
in 3 years.
In 3 years
for a course.
For a course. Kama wewe ni mzembe wa kuoa kabisa, nafai kuwe mara per semester, no, every semester chukua bibi tu. How many semesters are there in 3 years? There are 6.
But first year you are shy. Our first years they are not shy.
First years? Shy?
No,
you know what first years do? First years are shy, but madam second years na third years wanajua wako na help, so they are not shy. They calm down. Baby, calm down. They calm down to the first years.
Did this happen during your time in campus, not as a lecturer?
As a student?
Yes. How many times did you get married in campus?
Not many times. I was actually a very good girl.
A very good girl, Meskiani, not many times.
Not many times.
Iko sawa sana, wapi makofi yao? Wazi. Asante sana. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.
Borrow up to 1 million Kenya shillings from as low as 1.2% with a top-up anytime you need. Dial *522# or apply on the KCB app today. The KCB mobile loan. Unbelievably flexible, incredibly affordable. KCB, for people, for better. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
The 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is here. Register today for just 2,000 shillings at www.nairobimarathon.com.
We are determined in this place to be a people of glory and nothing else. But some of you leave things just there. But the time comes when you want to get deeper in these things, and you are tired and you're desperate and you want to get deeper. And you say, Lord, show me your glory, your glory. I'm telling you, the time comes. Hallelujah. Aren't you tired of the mundane, the ordinary?
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Good morning, Peter.
We believe in ideas that can change the world.
Striver and believer. At ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us, because your story matters. ABSA.
Kenya is on the rise. It's growing, it's progressing. It is powered by you. You are innovative. You are passionate about the future. You want more from life, from time, and from your money. At Stima Sacco, we are a reflection of you. We are a stable, financially sound institution providing tailor-made services to add value to your life, time, and money. We are guided by your aspiration. We are designed to match your ambition. We are Stima Sacco, a true reflection of you.
Sikia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu pakituka na shika. Yummy na flow kama maji tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu moja juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, sijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juu ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, usijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juni.
NTV, turning on your world.
The Trend, brought to you by Showmax.
Hello and welcome to the show. How have you been? Hi Kababa. How are you, Kababa? Oh, if you don't know about it, it's okay. You're a bit too old, but it's fine. It's fine. Hello and welcome to the show. This is TTTT. My name is Amina Abdiraba. I am your host. Hello to my panelists. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, Kamama.
I was just going to say that. No, Say it.
You beat me to it. Kamams.
Hey, Basho.
I don't even see. I hope that will be a topic somewhere at some point on the show because I have a lot to say. Because you're called Daddy Mato. You're called Daddy Mato. God, Apana.
Kadadi.
Can that be a topic, please?
Yeah.
I start with it.
Okay. So let's do it as a story. There is a young lady who has been posting TikToks every single day. I think in the morning and in the evening, and talking to guys and showing them some love and just appreciating them. And she would call them Kababa. Hi Kababa. Umekula leo. Umeamka. Umeomba. You should be grateful to see another day. And she does, like I said, morning and evening. And people have really been taking to it on TikTok and they've been responding. There are now 2 songs. Okay, Kagwe Mungai has done a song and another artist has also done a song. I don't know if he's former Kijana Vijana Barubaru, but 2 songs now are out with the Kababa thing. So now that you're updated, Mato, what is on your chest?
Say, Daddy. Why are women so against the idea of another woman taking up the feminine role of being soft?
Yeah.
Why?
Honestly, we are soft.
The amount of hardness that men go through every single day out here.
They need a dose of that.
By the time they get home, or even by the time they are engaging with their person, they want softness. Yes. They want to be reminded of softness. So if I come to you, and instead of reminding me of softness, you also want to give me hard. Hey, come on.
Yani imagine Mato umetoka mjengo, foreman amekutupia mawe 6x6, alafu ukuje home upatana na
swali ya kwanza ni chakula iko wapi? Pesa leo iko wapi? Badala ya aki umefanya kazi leo hakuna pesa.
Nikunawishe mkono Kababa.
Sawa.
Utaoga na maji moto Kababa. And what not?
Afana hiyo ni content tu anafanya.
Hakuna kitu kama hiyo.
Ni kama Sowino, ni content.
It is digging. Amina, it is digging into the hearts of the Nairobi women where they have forgotten to be soft.
Men have now lined up. Nasikia sija naishi wapi, watu wamepanga line. Kila mtu is throwing proposals. Tuangalie nani atamwangukia so that you get a dose of that every single day.
Lakini I think she's young, eh?
She's young. She looks young.
She looks 16.
She also looks young.
She looks 16.
Wako na ID na na shift.
Sawa.
Kababa.
No, wait, you guys... Okay, go on, Cindy.
I have 3 boys. You call them Baba until a certain age. Even now, we are beginning to win our 6-year-old out of all these pet names. Because boys have to be men. And there's nothing like soft or hard. Babying a grown man.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? A grown man. See what I mean? You're a grown woman. See what I mean? You're a grown woman.
Yeah.
You take care of the kids. They came out of your body. You gave them nourishment.
Yeah.
You're taking care of left, right, and center. This
bitter.
Kababa doesn't know how you cooked, how you balanced the budget, how you did all that stuff. Who's calling us Kamama? What's the difference between what's the difference between Kababa and baby girl?
Yes.
What's the difference between Kababa and passenger princess?
Or a girl Toto?
Or a girl Toto?
You guys enjoy. So you enjoy. So you would forget if the women in your lives would be very, as soft and as demure as she is. So you want us to just be like, You think people are harsh? And you kusema ukweli, imagine unaweza ongeleshwa hivyo kama unapeana pesa vizuri.
You see, unaona unapeana conditions.
No, because you know you want
Because
to be called kababa, but
You
the
should learn
energy
from
is not there.
Cindy.
The energy is not there.
Cindy, take notes. Tafadhali go watch that girl again. Take notes
Do
of
something.
you know ntandika aje bwanangu akikuja kwa nyumba. What will I
Kifyakwa.
say?
Can never be me.
Hata
Cindy.
Sister,
Can never.
we are
Sister,
all adults. We
Is
are
it
all
easier?
adults. Me, I match your energy.
Cindy.
If you call me sweetie, I call you sweetie. You call me babe, I call you babe. You call me mama, I call you mama. But this over-sensitization that men should be babied is the reason why when you're in a position of authority as a man, you want everybody to baby you.
It's not being
But where
baby.
do
You know?
It's
You
not
want
being
everybody
babied.
to baby you. You want everybody
I
to
wanna
treat
hear
you in a
what people have
certain
to
way.
say at home.
And it is almost expected.
So now that we have
us-
someone calling us baby, na nyinyi tukiwaita baby inakuanga tu sawa. Now you're saying that ati
Anyway,
you're
I want to
being
hear.
babied.
I want to hear what people at home have got to say. And also, can you imagine how awkward it is, like if you're dating Denga or Mato, and they're just there the whole day, just hearing kababa.
Imagine.
I'm not saying call me every.
Now we are forced.
Ndenga unamwita
We are
kababa.
being forced now to hear these kababa
Every
videos.
day.
Na nini
Unavaa
na
boxer
headphones.
unaitwa kababa.
I want to hear people at
Leather
home.
jacket.
At the Trend
Bwana.
Live, the hashtag is TT. What do you think? Do you love being called kababa, and do you wish that the person in your life would be a bit softer, right? And just, yani,
Tap
akupe
into your
mapenzi.
femininity.
You see, women would
That's
not
our
have
boiling point.
women would not have to be in their masculinity
Yes.
if you guys were being the men in relationships.
Aya. And
Say
the men
Say
and the men
damn thing.
Women-
and the men would not have
Say
to be
it.
crude if the women tapped into their
No,
femininity.
actually,
Yes.
even
You see, so
no,
it's chicken,
Mato,
chicken
even
and egg.
No, even in the Bible, I'll quote the Bible just because you're Christian. It says that it begins with the husband. The husband should first love the wife so that the wife can then respect the man. Please,
Someone
it starts with the man. If you want to
someone
be-
check what Amina said for Biblia. Then
Iko
The
mahali.
Bible says,
Tell me-
husbands, love your wives. Wives, submit
Sawa,
to your
actually,
husband.
we
And
agree
it
to
starts
disagree.
with husbands.
But I've told everyone
Not
at home to
kababas,
tweet at me.
please.
I need to tell you guys about something else though that's cool and new and fresh. And if you love drama, my I binge watch reality TV shows. It's my, what is it called, Cindy?
Achilles
Mine?
heel?
No, like that guilty pleasure.
Oh gosh.
Yes,
The
it is
Django
my-
in me. I went
So-
to Oxford.
If you're ready for drama, glitz, and the fabulosity that takes place in the entertainment industry, well, I think Night Rich, the new show from Showmax, is the show for you. In fact, we have them coming up at 10 p.m. We have Karji and Foina and Rispa and Amber Ray as well, who's going to be coming through. Last time she was on the show, she actually said that there's a show coming up. That's why she wasn't on Real Housewives of Nairobi, and now I see why. And because Showmax is very convenient, you can watch it on any of your devices. It's 300 shillings on your phone and 650 across all the other platforms. You can go, of course, to showmax.com and subscribe so that you can make sure that no show itakupita. I have money that I want to give you, by the way. So that's 650. So that what? You see, I care about you. And all you have to do, because I've just answered it, is tell me the cast members of Nairich. Just that. Imagine Nana Kupatia Pesa. I've given you the answer. Then I'm giving you the question. Come on. All right. So now let's get started with now our official first story. And we take off to Multimedia University in Ongata, Rongai, who've called on the Independent Policing Oversight Authority to investigate and prosecute police officers who were caught on camera assaulting a student on Tuesday. Led by their leaders, the students held a presser at the institution and demanded justice for Trevor Mureithi, who was assaulted by officers as students protested against poor sanitary conditions at the university that was caused by a water shortage. All right, now I know you guys saw this video and it broke my heart. And one of the things that people were saying in the comments is this an old video? Yani, this happens so many times that you couldn't tell if it's a dated video, an old video, a new video.
No, it was
And what were they doing? Like, why were they hitting him so hard? Walishinda wamempiga, wamemgonga. Mgundo yena muma. You saw how they hit him in the head. We can start the video once again. But there's one of the officers who hit him on the, look at that.
Yeah.
And it went on and on and on and on and on. You know?
I think it's so sad, and especially that from the information that was coming thereafter is that this guy the student was like, I think 2 weeks into admission
Oh, no.
to the school.
Ni fresher.
Yes, manze ni fresher. So
Ajui
sad.
hizi mambo.
And yes, ajui hizi mambo. And of course, by this time, he had dislocated his,
Yeah, his leg. Look, he's
Yeah.
limping. When he's coming up, he's limping.
And you see, the bad thing is they decided to, kumpatia dawa. And they were happy saying that tumpatie dawa, mtupie dawa. And I could imagine, if you see the longer version of this video, is that they had thrown the dawa, that is the tear gas, and you see it exploded
Right next to him.
Right next to him. Na yani ni bahati tu he turned the other side, so those shrapnels hazikuingia kwa macho and all that. Otherwise sasa tungekuwa naongelelea a different story. So it's so sad that this is someone akona a relative, might be a son, might be a a relative that is of that age, and you could imagine mtu anafanya hivyo.
Yeah.
So sad.
Sad. Imagine Cindy umepeleka mtoe wako uni alafu. But I have to take a quick break, guys. So when we come back, Cindy, you can give your 2 cents as well as Kababa Mato.
Daddy.
At the trend live, the hashtag is TTTT. There's no laughing matter by that story. I'm so sorry, I don't even know why we laughed at the end. But it gave me PTSD of course, what happened during Maandamano. Yeah, and it really broke my heart to it just doesn't change. No matter what we do, and it's ridiculous. Please tell us what you think at home. I'll be reading tweets when we come back, which will be in the next few minutes, so please don't go anywhere.
The Nairobi International Trade Fair is on. From the 23rd of September to the 29th, visit the Jamhuri Park Showground, Nairobi. There will be plenty of entertainment, food, innovations, and learning activities. You can also sample unique variety of products from local and international companies in agri-tech innovation and general trade. Call us on 0715 760 769. Email on trade@nitf.ask.co.ke.
Usiachwe nyuma. Join us at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Register by visiting www.nairobimarathon.com and help us move Kenya forward. Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Run. Embrace possibility.
Is Dove better than ordinary soap? We're going to prove it. Take a bar of your soap and Dove. Use yours on one side, Dove on the other. The soap part feels rough. The Dove side is softer, smoother, and more radiant. With 1/4 moisturizing cream, Dove deeply nourishes for radiant skin all over. Try Dove and feel the difference.
Sikia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu Ayaya, kituka na shika. Yummy na flow kama maji. Tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu moja juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, sijali my bro. Hebu kama taka juicy juu ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, sijali my bro. Hebu kama taka juicy juu ni.
You're watching The Trend, brought to you by Showmax.
Back. I promised I will be reading tweets in this segment, so I hope we'll make some time, Cindy and Mato, and read some tweets. I have to hear what people have to say about that whole Kababa story and, of course, Multimedia University. So, Cindy, I had cut you off right before we were going on break.
Yeah, police brutality is still ripe. It's still rife, it's happening, it's been documented. The sad thing is that nothing is going to happen, so impunity will still follow. I just wish love and blessings to the young man. I have a nephew who just started campus in Kabete campus, and I'm just thinking, my son is 14, in 4 years, that could be him. So it's really, you know, when you put it into perspective, it looks like it's somebody else's son, it could be mine, could be yours.
Yeah.
And we really don't know when our kids are safe, and I really, I don't know, man, it's just heartbreaking. Kijana pone.
Akina mamake, babake pole. Can you imagine them watching that video?
I'm just happy he's alive. Vilendenga amesema that thing could have exploded on his face. Let me tell you, when it's not your day, when it is not your day. So yeah, it was really sad to see.
But the saddest bit of this story is how the likes of Kina Aipo are not taking any action.
Nothing.
It's not that they're not taking any action. They have said that they are going to investigate. But these institutions are toothless dogs.
Yeah.
They have, funding has been cut off. Even the individuals who are there are individuals that are extremely compromised in a way that nothing will be forthcoming as far as prosecution of those people who have done things that are actually against the law while in the process of maintaining law and order, which is hilarious if you think about it. You're breaking the law while in the process of maintaining law and order. Wewe ni nani?
This is similar to that, Nini. Remember the one for Nini Maandamano, that guy?
Yes.
Who shot directly
at a group of journalists.
Yes, journalists. It has the same effect.
Yeah.
And it's so sad that hakuna kitu waipoa. Kama ipoa kufanya kitu on that one, then doesn't mean they'll do anything on this one.
You know, Mato, sometimes when they say they're going to conduct investigations, why? What are you investigating?
We can see.
You saw what happened.
What
are you investigating? And why should the investigations take so long? I know, of course, the law still has to but
take its
why?
course.
Why should it take so long? You can see what is happening. Jamani. You know, I mean, even when we look at, you know, what's happening with American music mogul, you know, P. Diddy, they still had to, even though we had all this footage, there was all this video, there was all this evidence, they still had to investigate before they even put him in custody.
But you want to say ni AI, sindio? Because we are in the AI era.
No, even tunaiona. Kama hiyo siku sasa, when they were saying they will investigate what happened, Ndenga was actually there when the canister was lodged at the group of journalists. He was there, and we saw the guy do it. He was one person. What again?
Recorded 10 angles, 10 different angles.
I don't get it. All right, fine. Now, the show, by the way, tonight brought to you by Showmax. Make sure that you don't miss out on the brand new reality TV show. Well, it's a series that's just started. It's called Nai Rich. The drama, the glitz. And it's so interesting how these reality shows make you see a very different side of some of these people that you've been following online. So you have the, I cannot tell you who it is because I already asked you the question. I want to give you some money, okay, so that you can also watch all of your favorite shows, sports documentaries, comedy shows. Like I said, I'm binge watching a lot of South African shows right now. Whatever it is you want to watch, make sure you don't miss it on the online streaming platform that is Showmax. Go to showmax.com for more, to subscribe as well. So answer me and tell me who are the 4 cast members of the new show Nairich, just like that, and I give you the money. Now, Acting Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli Monday explained the security officers attached to Justice Lawrence Mugambi were recalled for a training session. He said necessary arrangements were made to ensure Justice Mugambi's security is guaranteed. Masengeli was reacting to an uproar from the Judicial Service Commission and other agencies over the move to withdraw security officers attached to the judge after their sentence, he had sentenced him to 6 months in jail. I know you guys saw this story.
Yeah.
The timing is sus. The timing
is a bit sus.
Is sus.
Suspicious.
A bit. Extremely sus. But you see, one of the things that that gives me faith is there is a case of an OCPD, I can't remember the exact details, but there's an OCPD who was convicted and is in jail for being responsible for the death of an individual in a water tank where alienda kamsukuma ndani na akasema hakuna kitu utanifanyia, na saa hii ako ndani pamoja na some other rogue police officers. Now, this action was clearly meant to intimidate the judge, and it is very clear that the war between the judiciary, the police service, and parliament has just begun. You've seen what the judiciary has just done in, I think it was today. The NGCDF fund has been declared unconstitutional.
Yeah.
This is where there was somebody in parliament who was saying we need to defund the judiciary. Yani some of these institutions, the strength of institutions in this country zimeshikiliwa na wale watu wako juu, yet they are the ones who have the power to manipulate whichever direction they want it to go, and that makes me worry for our country.
Na hapo ndo wanasema usiguse nani?
Serikali ama?
Usiguse Mugambi, usiguse Mugambi. And I think the High Court has relented. They've just dropped the 6 months sentencing of Masengeli.
They've delayed it for 7 days. They've delayed.
You know how it goes. You know how it goes. After 7 days,
you call it delay.
Yes.
You know, they call it freedom. Yeah. You call it whatever it is you want to call it. Cindy?
I like how when Masengeli finally faced the court, he was asked severally, are you above the law? Are you above the law? And he said no. You know, and he was very humble at that point. But of course, actions are very different. I agree with Mato. If he sentenced, if Mugambi sentenced Masengeli to prison for contempt of court, and then all of a sudden his security has been withdrawn, there's no way you cannot put two and two together. Of course, there are denials on all parties. I don't know, I hear it's been reinstated and so on and so forth, but it just goes to show that there is no separation of what did you call them? Executive, judiciary, is it the arms of government.
The arms of government.
Yeah, there's no separation with the arms of government. They interfere with each other. I think I would like more judges to have, you know, the kind of kahunas that Mugambi had, because he was like, look, this is the law. The law is the law and you're not above the law. I would love it if it went the way that Mato said with the OCPD, where we actually have people who are shamelessly, you know, showing impunity, facing the full wrath of the law, but it is what it is. Let his security be reinstated. Faith Odhiambo is still doing a fantastic job. Keep fighting for the legislature, because that's all we have in this country, to fight for our freedoms, to fight for ourselves.
Yeah.
Just a quick one. There's something interesting that you'll notice. I remember, I think what made Mercy Tarus famous during that time, the president came out and said, Kila mtu needs to, everybody needs to answer for their own actions. Then an arrest happened. Do you know that just the other day, there is a statement by the president said that nobody is above the law?
Yeah.
And then now this has happened.
Yeah.
It is only wakati yeye ndio amesema, basically, huyo mtu wali, okay, my suspicion,
like
this is my own opinion, it is, does not reflect anything of National Media Group. Ni kuna mkutano huwa inaendelea, sasa itabidi wewe uende. Ndio watu wanyamaze, wamepiga kelele sana, wewe enda. Alafu
Yani imagine
anaongea, then ndio watu wanaenda.
There's a show called Banged Up Abroad. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. And when they're talking about like the drug cartels, when you listen out to the boss talk, because now someone gets arrested in a random country and you didn't know that you would be arrested, they tell you, Mato, we've been doing this for so long, then we end at 2. This is a one-time thing, just, you know, however
Watch
they
us
tell
to
you to carry. So what happens is usually they have an agreement with the cops. Yeah, so they have to arrest someone at some point. They have to give you. So you know, Yani, it was an ambush you were walking in, because they have to protect themselves. So every few months they have to give somebody off to be arrested, so that they can show that they're working and they're actually arresting these people. Because we all know that, you know, all these drug dealers allegedly, you know, have some cops in their pockets. So.
But isn't a government a cartel?
Very big.
All right, okay. So now I don't know what position is being vied for here, but anyway, Nairobi County CEC Environment Geoffrey Musiria. All right, we can't take, okay, so real quick, let me just take this story real quick. All right, unfortunately, we have to take a break.
No!
You know, we talk about it. We talk about it. John, give me a second, let's talk about it. All right, fine. So real quick, Nairobi County CEC, Geoffrey Musiria is on the streets again. Now this time anasema kuna watu wanachoma sana manzi. The CEC was spotted questioning a woman who was burning undergarments as she was teaching bystanders. Take a look. There is a clip.
I think hapa alikuwa namwambia, you see, these are the ladies that if you've been to archives, kuna wale wanachukuanga madawa, wanachukua maunga, mapoda na nini. So I think this lady, she was showing people that the undergarments, the material itself, It's not, it's flammable, not good for your skin and whatnot.
And your private, okay.
Yes, and all that. But sasa, vile Mo Serious alifika hapo.
Mo Serious, I love that.
Vile alifika hapo, ndio unaona vile, kumbe the lady can be now a kawaida person. He can humble herself. So it was one of those things. And I think this is just one of the many guys that more serious should take action on.
I like
okay, go ahead.
I like how he's doing it. In all honesty, in as much as there are very many other things that governments stop people from doing, the approach that he is taking to it in most of the videos that I have seen, he tries to appeal to your sensibilities. Which is the one thing I really respect. He tries to appeal to your sensibilities. Anakuja anasema sawa, unauzia hapa kwa barabara, gari ikikuja hapa ikugonge, si umeendanger hawa watu wako. Aya, ni saa 5 usiku, mko watu 3 ndani ya kanisa. Hiyo kelele yote inaenda ikipigia hawa watu wengine, na leo si Jumapili. Ni ya nini?
Basi mato watch yake ya wa Nigeria.
We need to
Hey, tell the Nigerian ones, sorry, pelekana nao mbio. You should watch that.
Okay, let's take a break. I'm sorry, Cindy. And you're a little skutaki. I don't know what's going on. We have to take a quick break. You have to see what's happening. Of course, what's coming up on news at 9 p.m. So let's take a quick break. A quick one. And then we'll be back. Quick.
Doors should not hold out opportunities. Doors are the gateways to progress, the ones that hold ideas, and those that close deals. Let's take those to places where there are none. Let's open big doors that harbor progress. In all the places that we are.
KCB ni yangu.
KCB ni yetu.
KCB is mine.
KCB ni yetu. For people, for better.
Dad.
Yeah?
Ya date yako.
Hii ni Cadbury Memory ya Kamau. Share memory yako and win. Sherekea Cadbury Memories. Now you stand a chance ya kushinda share yako ya zawadi worth 2 million. Nunua any 2 vintage Cadbury Dairy Milk slabs. Tembelea Cadbury.Africa na enter unique code iliyo ndani ya pack. T's and C's apply. There's always been a glass and a half in everyone.
My name is Foina. I'm a beauty mogul.
My name is Vespa. Jakuja kufurahisha mtu. I'm the brand. Yani pesa kitu mzuri jamani.
The Don uga hakuna kubembeleza watu, ni hali ya pilipili na ndimu kuanzia sasa hivi mpaka mwisho.
So you're such an instigator.
Kwenda. Oh my God.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh Moran beef cuts starting at 599 shillings per kg. Grapes Sweat Pack 500 grams at 275 shillings. Daima butter 500 grams at 599 shillings. Assorted Sunlight powder 1 kg at 242 shillings. And Kenwood Steam Iron at 2,375 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
Usiachwe nyuma. Join us at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Register by visiting www.nairobimarathon.com and help us move Kenya forward. Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Run. Embrace possibility.
Is Dove better than ordinary soap? We're going to prove it. Take a bar of your soap and Dove. Use yours on one side, Dove on the other. The soap part feels rough. The Dove side is softer, smoother, and more radiant. With 1/4 moisturizing cream, Dove deeply nourishes for radiant skin all over. Try Dove and feel the difference.
This is the comfort of a mom's hug. Nahi ni Morphix diapers. Comfy like a mom's hug. Baby's drink is gloop. Morphix absorbs like whoop. Makofi to both baby and the new Morphix diapers. With its cottony soft texture and 3 times faster absorbent channels, The new Morphix diapers help to prevent rush. Morphix, comfy like a mom's hug.
Good morning, Peter.
We believe in ideas that can change the world.
Dreamer, creator, striver, and believer. At ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us, because your story matters. ABSA.
You're watching The Trend, brought to you by Showmax.
And welcome back. You're watching TTTT, brought to you by Showmax, which has a new show. Listen, you come for the tea, you stay for the drama, honey, all right? You've got that straight shooter gentleman called KRG who's there, so you know he can't hold back anything. Yeah, Tasema. And then, of course, you have Rispa, who's another very funny character. I can't wait to have her on the show later on. Ampare, of course. You see it all online. And Foina, she also talks about her beauty brand as an entrepreneur. So you also get to learn a bit about the beauty business and the beauty industry. With all of that, of course, lazima wakosani. All right? Because I know Ambare was having a party for her daughter's face reveal because I think it was shot a while back. And when you add champagne in this mix, lazima watu watakosana. All right? So I'm giving you 650 bob voucher. It's a voucher. And all you had to do was name for me the cast members. And I see so many of you have gotten it right. Cindy Ondenga, I understand so...
There are so many. There are so many. Like everyone is getting it right. Yes, we have so many here. Just before we mention one or two, there's this guy called at Teddy_G. Anasema hashtag TTTT, hey Amina, Trend Live, Amina Abdirabab, ati Daddy Mato wanaitwa abujubujubuju.
Yani lazima ungeanzia na hiyo.
Sasa hiyo ndio iko. Sasa hiyo nimepatana
about right.
Haungeanzia na ya Michael Mitch anasema the level of brutality with the Kenyan police makes me question why they undergo training. Do they undertake mental checks before they are handed ammunition, which is a requirement under the constitution to hold or own one? Or here, son of it, ambayo inasema the student union has become weak. Not that they are to blame, but I do miss Babu Owino days. The only language that the mad police and this incompetent government, ini son of it amesema, understand is the street. It's the only way they can reform. Everything is compromised, including Murima.
There's another guy here called Michael Mitch. Anasema this issue of Kababa or Babe, I'm never into it because such flirting names always come with a condition or a request. But if not fulfilled, World War III begins in a cold manner. So we amekata.
And VM Muchamo, why are you guys so against men being pampered? Dunia gunia. Now we need to go back home to some love. Thank you.
Yes.
We
So
didn't say pampered, babied, but yes, Ndenga, carry on.
Yes, let's give someone a voucher here. At DJ Tush_254. Anasema the cast Nairich, Showmax, Foina Wamboi, Ambare, Rispa Faith, and KRG the Don.
All right.
So at DJ Tush, aka Tunge Arnold, please DM us. Ama will DM you for the voucher.
Yes, so you can share your phone number and I'll give you a call. So I hope I hope your phone is on. All right, so now for as little as 300 bob, you can enjoy all of the drama on Nairich and of course so many other shows, international shows, local shows. They have all the drama. Every proper show in this country is on Showmax. Trust me, it's on Showmax. And like I said, 300 bob a month on your phone. Come on, 650 across the other devices. That's very affordable. Go to showmax.com and subscribe today. Okay, now Cindy, before the break, I'm sorry I cut you short. You had something you wanted to say. Please go ahead.
Gosh, I've lost my trail of thought.
You've forgotten.
What were you talking about before the break? Me, I'm still in this Kababa story.
Okay.
What were you talking about before the break? What were we talking about before the break?
Before the break, we're talking about CEC.
Yeah, and during the break, we're talking about...
So now, in Nairobi, there's no behavioral change. Behavioral change takes time, and there are things you need to do behavioral change. You're not sitting and talking to guys, may I feel what he's doing is this kababa stuff. Eh, muziki ni loud. Unajua hiyo sio poa.
His kababa voice.
Umechoma.
But he's doing a race.
Unajua... Enforce, bwana. That's the only language we understand. You're littering, enforce. Nairobi is very filthy. The only way we're going to get the change that we need is not to sit and talk to people and assume that they'll go home and think about it. Guys are hungry, guys are poor, guys are hustling.
Cindy.
They're trying to find a quick way to find a bag. Unaenda kwa kanisa usiku unaongelesha watu. Sasa unajua majirani wamesema close that church, bwana.
Whatever more serious is doing, is balancing. He's doing balancing. At some point, he's doing arrests. The other ones anafanya nini?
Do arrests all through.
PR. He has to do PR. You know, there's a camera, so he has to balance. So off the camera anashika watu. So the other day, si nini zilibomolewa? Kuiva Kilimani.
Iko.
And this other one.
Nilipita huko leo asubuhi jabomolewa.
Unless walijenga overnight. But Kikao. Yes.
Oh, Kikao.
It was demolished. So the guy is serious.
By the way, kwani walidemolish Kikao juu ya kelele?
I'm yet to know. Probably it has some politics in it. But the guy is doing something. This is better.
Bring
this
law
is better.
and order. Tell guys in town, have your officers not kuhanda, because remember the time when Kanjo askaris were all over the place, it was just impunity. Not that kind, but enforce. Hakuna kuuza hapa, hakuna kutuka takataka, hakuna kuchoma vitu ati sijui na hiyo ngoza sijui na kaaje, hakuna maneno za kanisa.
Cindy, you see why you are not Morisa? Watu wangekuwa wamelala wote ndani.
Unachoma anda ya toa madam. Unajua
wafunge wote.
No, Cindy, sometimes you have to have that humane in you.
Like
soft kababa. What are you doing?
We have to talk about help. We have to talk about help. Now, the Higher Education Loans Board has begun the process of hiring a professional and reputable debt collection firm that will help the body recover billions of shillings that it is owed by beneficiaries. Help is an advertisement, says in an ad, said that the services of the debt collectors will remain active for at least 2 years. So Daddy Mato,
mimi
pesa ya Kenyatta University umekata kulipa why?
Ngoja. Mimi nililipa pesa yangu ya
help.
Yote. The year was 2017. I remember niko na help certificate yangu nyumbani.
Okay.
Nilimaliza kulipa.
Oh, you want to say ukimaliza kulipa help here you're given a certificate?
Yes, you're given a certificate.
Oh, you don't know?
No, I don't know. I went to private university and whatnot. Mambo ya public niliwacha primary.
Mambo ya kuomba.
Pay you.
So I have my help certificate at home. Now, in as much as I would say I understand the need for them to procure the services of debt collectors, how bad is the system that how bad is the surveillance? How bad is their back-end system in ensuring that they get this money back, if they even have to procure the services of debt collectors? I mean, how are banks able to get their monies back?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Different.
How is it different? It's their actual
Shouldn't
job.
it be run with the same system?
Yes, because banks are commercial. The government is not a commercial entity. So the government gives you with the goodwill that as a citizen utarudisha do. Ukikosa kurudisha, you change your name, especially for us women, you change your last name, you get husband name. Who
authorizes the name change?
The government.
I don't know what.
Thank you.
But the thing is, you see, there are so many moving parts in the government that if we decide,
why not consolidate them?
If we decide until now we're going to put resources into help, there's a budget that will be cut.
Digitize.
So you'll find they're overwhelmed and there's nobody to follow up.
But then again,
agency, sorry, Ndenga, the agency is also another budget, by the way. The farm,
Yes.
that's also going to
but then again,
to
remember,
recover
in
2.7 billion, they'll probably spend 1.7 billion.
But you see, then again, in banks you have assets, and for help, it's hope against hope that siku moja unapata kazi. Yes,
Sasa,
it's one day that
it's
it's hope against hope you're going to get, you'll be employed so that you're able to pay. But before that, nani atakufuata? 10 years down the line, you're still waiting to get kazi ya jua kali. So by the time you get someone to do that follow up and all that, so it's a bit hard.
It's a challenge. For the same reason people register companies, they die, their shares, they're accumulating. The government is trying to get this person's name. You'll find, and this thing happens a lot, especially with before millennial need Gen X, baby boomers. You'll find Sujui, he is known as Kamau, but he registered as Dennis. But kwa mtaa sijui anajulikana kama nani. So even when you go to the Ulize chief, he's known by 3 different names. It's really crazy to follow up on individuals when there's so many other moving parts. So I totally feel that.
But are you going to pay help ama pesa
Wait,
kwa
so let me ask you,
vijana?
Cindy, how do they do it?
Tufuate gani?
Ndenga, si tunaenda Germany, nikirudi
Tufuate
kutoka
ishia
Germany,
nini?
nitakulipa hii pesa yako, please, relax. Kazi inakuja, kazi ndo inakuja. But I wanted to ask, now the thought has just disappeared. God damn it.
About banks, how do they do it?
No, I wanted to ask you about, in the US, they have student loans. People complain about it all the time.
Yeah.
How is it that they can track everybody and we can't?
Because you can't do anything in the US without a social security number.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
So we live in the time where it's not an excuse anymore for the
know,
government to lack proper systems.
You just hammered here juzi matoke.
Somebody will
register M-Pesa na namba ya budake ama
systems
social,
work.
ama guka na guka medai.
Systems
na
work.
amejenga manyumba flats.
System
na
work.
ID sio yake.
I think hii system wapatie DCI, juu DCI watakutoa chini ya kitanda.
Systems work.
Yeah, if I give DCI.
Na wataona kweli ulikuwa chini ya kitanda na kweli hauna
na
kazi.
utalipa hiyo pesa
Na
ya
DCI sana sana hupata wale watu hawana pesa. So kwa sababu hujalipa help loan utapatikana. Watu wako na pesa wapatikanagi na DCI.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like even Kerry waits until they're like, okay, Macho is starting to get broke again. Now go. Go. Now, lazima wangoje ikuwe pesa significant. They can't just be like, oh, you owe us 100K. No, they have to
Has to be some good money.
Yeah, they're like, okay, so Cindy, 10 million Kenya shillings, please. They're like, 10 million? 10 when? They're like, from 20s to 10. You've never paid anything. But thank you so much, you guys. There's so much more we could talk about that video of that Pro Box. Mogo Cash. You can cornered.
Oh yes.
After a fatal accident.
In as much as it was a loss, wacha niseme tu mbio. I like what the people did, which was try to tell those people that, oh, this is what is important to you. So this Mogoka is what is important to you. This is what is more important than human life. Wacha ikae kwa barabara pia.
Yes.
I agree.
Anyway,
Ndenga tuna time, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Tweet.
Kababa, usisikie vibaya. Kababa, sawa. Thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Macho. Thank you, Ndenga. We will be with the cast of Night Rich at 10 p.m. I have the guy who does squats from South Africa. You know him?
No, he's here.
He's here. He's going to be on the show. I have Dex.
Why are you excited?
To be a part of the event next week. We're giving away tickets.
Behind this very...
There's a big event happening.
His future is very
bright. You don't need more. Cindy, you don't need more.
Fine.
Wachia nani Mamina.
Anyway, so I'll be giving away tickets to an event happening next weekend. Rema, Bien, Yashinsky, Lauryn Hill. Do you? Yeah. I have tickets at 10 p.m. Right now, time for the news. My name is Amina Abdiraba. Good evening.
The Trend, brought to you by Showmax.
Kuna kubembeleza watu, ni hali ya pilipili na ndimu kuanzia sasa hivi mpaka mwisho.
You're such an instigator.
Kwenda. Oh my God.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh Boran beef cuts starting at 599 shillings per kg. Grapes Sweat Pack 500 grams at 275 shillings. Daima butter 500 grams at 599 shillings. Assorted Sunlight powder 1 kg at 242 shillings. And Kenwood Steam Iron at 2,375 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
Kote nchini.
Mbele.
Kenya, twende mbele. NCBA, go for it.
Are you ready for the Leadership as a Game Changer Summit?
Let's talk leadership. If management is IQ, we think it. Leadership is EQ, we feel it. I feel very strongly that culture is more powerful than strategy. And when I say culture, I mean the way we get things done around here. Come to our summit. Come to the Leadership Summit. My name's Rene Carroll and I've had the privilege of coaching some of the best leaders in the world. Not every one of them was a leader when we kicked off.
Join the best leadership coach at the Movenpick Hotel, Nairobi, on 24th September 2024 from 7:30 a.m.
We are determined in this place to be a people of glory and nothing else. But some of you leave things just there. But the time comes when you want to get deeper in these things, and you are tired and you're desperate and you want to get deeper, and you say, Lord, show me your glory, your glory. I'm telling you, the time comes. Hallelujah. Aren't you tired of the mundane, the ordinary?
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Mengi mazuri tumeyaona, Mungu umetenda, ni kweli wewe muweza. Ulitamka vitu vikawa, neno tulatosha, ukisema umetenda. Harisha Israeli, uliwavusha, kawatoa utumwani. Watumishi wako umewapa yote waombayo, ikiwa umependeza.
Skiza na Nation.
Umeamka fiti weka tik. Kauna pumua weka tik.
What's good, MKU Thika? Mko vipi? Are you ready for the most electrifying gospel experience of the year?
That's right, and this September the 22nd, we are bringing you something special.
And this freshman's edition is dubbed Twanze na God. This is your opportunity to kick off the academic year with a spiritual bang.
As we We are here to make sure that you start on the right foot. So cross over to be rooted in Christ. This is crossover! Hey!
This is NTV.
It is the 20th of September. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Tonight, the gloves are off and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is throwing some serious punches as talk on impeachment heats up. And in a twist straight out of a trailer, the missing Kitengela trio are alive, free at last, but leaving more questions than answers. We have a packed bulletin lined up for you tonight. Welcome to the broadcast. Here are the news making headlines.
I would like to apologize to the Lordship and the judiciary for the events that have transpired.
It is not the intention of this court to punish a genuinely repentant man who has acknowledged his mistakes.
Defiance ends in plea for mercy. Contemner Gilbert Masengeli finally shows up in court, flanked by dozens of political friends. Court pardons him unconditionally. And
tumeweza kuachiliwa leo usiku wa kuamkia leo sehemu ya Gashie.
Abducted at night and dumped at dawn. Who were the armed men holding the Kitengela 3 for a month and why? Plus,
the National Government Constituencies Development Fund and all its projects shall cease to operate on 30th June 2026.
A blow to members of parliament. Court declares NG-CDF illegal. Government allowed 2 years to end the kitty. And deja vu Tanga style defiance. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his allies are holding no punches. The end game still a puzzle.
NTV Weekend Edition with Michelle Ngele Obdiambo.
Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Flora Atieno is the sign language interpreter. My name is Michelle Ngele Odhiambo, stepping in for Dan Mwangi. Now, the High Court Judge Lawrence Mugambi has set aside the 6-month prison sentence that he issued to Deputy Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli last Friday. This after Masengeli eventually appeared before the High Court judge and apologized for snubbing 7 court summons in a row. A move that left Judge Mugambi with no choice but to sentence Masengeli to half a year behind prison bars for contempt of court. NTV's David Mudhoka followed the entire case and the subsequent ruling at the Milimani Law Courts and filed the following report.
I swear by the name of Almighty God.
Having spent his years in police service putting plenty of people, including notorious criminals, in the dock, Deputy Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli, perhaps for the first time in his life, took to the stand on Friday noon at the Milimani Law Courts.
Where were you?
Already a convict for contempt of court and seeking to clear his name and go back home a free man, Masengeli spent more than 1.5 hours in the unfamiliar dock, explaining to High Court Judge Lawrence Mugambi why he skipped 7 consecutive court summons, a move that saw him convicted and sentenced for contempt of court.
It was not a deliberate failure because I had also requested my assistant to come and to send me and the legal officer to do the same, my lord.
His explanation, however, did not satisfy the petitioner's side that comprised of lawyers representing the Law Society of Kenya, who wondered why Masengeli could not delegate his official duties in the same way he delegated the 7 High Court appearances. The lawyers also wondered why Masengeli chose to appear before the High Court on the same day that the Longton brothers and activist Bob Njagi resurfaced. In the 7 summons that Masengeli failed to honor, the country's second police officer from the top was expected to explain where the 3 were after fears that they had been abducted by police officers, with the lawyers suspicious that their reappearance and Masengeli's unexpected appearance at the High Court were more than just mere coincidence.
My lord, that is subject to investigation, as police officers, we will have to go further and investigate. Also have
My question was very rhetorical.
Some of the questions seemed too difficult for Masengeli, who had to depend on his affidavit on several occasions, or as per the petitioners, answers that were being passed to him cleverly by his lawyers.
That is your witness.
But these
Yeah.
individuals can move away from the
Yes. You have the affidavit, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
If you need to point him to where he needs to look at because it's already adopted, just do it.
While concluding his submission, Masengeli sought for forgiveness from the High Court for ignoring the 7 summons.
I would like to apologize to the Lordship and the judiciary for the events that have transpired, leading to the orders of this court.
When he delivered his ruling at 4 p.m., Judge Mugambi accepted Masengeli's apology, noting that the Deputy Police IG had proven that he was remorseful, polite, and calm.
This court is convinced that Mr. Masengeli regrets and is genuinely remorseful for the situation he finds himself in. It is not the intention of this court to punish a genuinely repentant man who has acknowledged his mistakes and offered an apology.
The High Court judge further recused himself from other petition on his desk touching on Masengeli. Masengeli's pardon was welcomed by the host of government leaders, government lawyers led by Solicitor General Shadrach Mose and Attorney General Dorcas Oduor, as well as leaders from Masengeli's native Western region who sat through the entire proceedings in a show of solidarity to a man who temporarily served as the Police Inspector General. Police DIG Gilbert Masengeli is now a free man, having walked into the Milimani Law Court on Friday morning, a convict. The court saying that Masengeli portrayed the image of a remorseful, calm and polite man despite snubbing its summons for 7 times in a row. David Muthoka, NTV, from the Milimani Law Court, Nairobi.
Meanwhile, Jamil Longton, his brother Nadif and activist Bob Njagi, all from Kitengela, have been released by their captors on a day that saw the court pardon the Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli over his 6-month conviction for failing to attend a court summons to state the whereabouts of the 3 who were abducted by unknown persons at the height of anti-government protests. Here's Bridget Ngana with that report.
Kwa majina naitwa Longton Jamil Hashim na mimi nawashukuru wa Kenya watu waliosimama na sisi.
In this video, Jamil Longton and his brother Nadif give a proof of life message a month into their abduction. They were kidnapped by armed men on August 19th, a few meters from their home in Kitengela, Kajiado County, only to be released by their captors early Friday morning and their phones handed back to them.
Tumeweza kuachiliwa leo usiku wa kuamkia leo sehemu ya Gashie kwa kichaka, na tukatembea hadi tukapata estate moja. Hapo ndio tukaomba mahali tukacharge simu na tukaweza kucommunicate na familia kwa tumewachiliwa na tuko hai.
Nashukuru wa Kenya kwa kusimama na sisi. Tumeachiliwa leo yani masaa kuamkia usiku wa leo kuamkia asubuhi hii.
The release of the Longton brothers also coinciding with that of Bob Njagi, whose abduction was captured in this public service vehicle where unknown people pounced on him on his way home, claiming he was an armed thug. The Law Society of Kenya President Faith Odhiambo confirming the release of the 3 on her X page. A day after Jamil Longton's wife also wrote an appeal to President William Ruto to intervene and ask the police to produce her husband and brother-in-law. LSK and the families of the Kitengela 3 are yet to issue a formal statement about who held them captive for a whole month. LSK has been in court seeking orders for the presentation of the 3 in a case that saw the Deputy Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli convicted for 6 months for contempt of court, a conviction that was lifted on Friday. According to the missing persons website, 37 people were missing after the June 25th protests. 23 people are still in remand, while 100 people were found alive with 8 others found dead. On Thursday, the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and DCI boss Mohamed Amin said they did not have the Kitengela 3 in their custody. Bridget's Ghana, NTV.
The High Court has declared the National Government Constituency Development Fund (NGCDF) unconstitutional. A 3-judge bench of the High Court says the fund undermines the principle of devolution by creating an extra layer which the judges observe leads to wastage of public resources. And although Justices Kanyi Kimondo, Mugure Thande and Roslyn Aburili agreed the law was unconstitutional, they could not agree as to when the programs funded through the NGCDF should cease. Justice Thande ruled it should end by June next year, while Justices Kimondo and Aburili are of the view that the allocation should cease by the 30th of June 2026. Lawyers for the NGCDF say they will appeal the decision.
National Government Constituencies Development Fund Act of 2015, as amended in 2022 and 2023, is hereby declared unconstitutional. 2, that the National Government Constituencies Development Fund and all its projects, programs and activities shall cease to operate at the stroke of midnight on 30th June 2026.
We may not agree with the findings of the judges, but we respect and abide by those findings. 8 hours would be to deal with the decision, possibly the 2 possible ways of appeal.
A matter of this nature will inevitably go to the highest court. And we are prepared to deal with the indefatigable petitioners. And
it is the people who elected me and not members of parliament. Those are the words by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua responding to talks of an impeachment motion being prepared against him. The DP, who spoke during his visit to the Marikiti market here in Nairobi and other stopovers within the city, warning those against him not to dare him. However, his troops were more direct and brutal, directing their jabs to President William Ruto, who they accuse of orchestrating Gachagua's wars by paying MPs at State House. This is an apparent repeat of the 2022 campaign period, when the DP's troops then occasionally took on the president in an apparent full endorsement of their boss. Here's Ibrahim Karanja with that report.
There have been days of intense political beatings against him, orchestrated by those who just recently he considered as his own teammates. What started as a vote of no confidence by 13 members of parliament from the Mount Kenya East region quickly spread like bushfire to 48 of their colleagues in the western region of the mountain. Then to members of the county assemblies and later to a section of elders has left Gachagua a near isolated man. To cap it all, talks of an impending impeachment have been rife. Yet all along and amidst the intense political heat, the man from Madeira has been silent, only slightly brushing over the debate in his public appearances, but not anymore.
Ati wanatafuta wajumbe, wanapatia pesa ati walitoe kwa kiti ya naibu wa rais. Mumesikia hiyo maneno? Wenye kuchagua mimi ni nyinyi ama ni hawa? Wenye kuchagua mimi ni nyinyi ama ni hawa? Sisi tukitaka kuambia hawa, kama muko na shida na Rigathi Gachagua, mkuja mshitaki yeye kwa hawa na nchi hawa.
Na imefika wakati wa kuongea. Tumeachana na mbwa, tunaenda kwa mwenyewe. Tumeachana na mbwa, tunaenda kwa nani? Kwa mwenyewe.
Kwa hivyo tunataka kumwambia Ndosi ambaye ni rais wa jamhuri, wewe umetukera sana na tumekuona mahali unatuelekeza na unatupeleka kwa simu. kwenda hiyo barabara. Wewe unataka kuanda mlima, umebeba grupu ya wabunge, umewajaza kwako State House kila siku na kuwapatia mandora, lakini ukumbuke kura ziko crowd, kura haziko na hao. Ati wanataka waondoe Rigathi Gachagua walete kibaraka yao, si ndio? Ati waweke mtu ya kukatwa namna hii, ya kukatwa namna hii, kwa sababu mimi nasimama kidete na haki ya raia, na mimi sikwezi kubalia Wakenya wafinyiliwe.
President Ruto, while speaking in Gachagua's Nyeri home turf on Sunday, preached against premature 2027 campaigns, instead calling on a focus on development. Gachagua's faction hearing none of it, using Ruto's own dose of medicine against him.
Huko 2027 ni Mungu na wananchi ndio wataamua.
Lakini huwezi kuturusisha na wewe bado uko kwa siasa ya 2027 na unatuambia tuachane nayo.
Hatusemi bottom sasa, ni ground up. Ground up.
But as Gachagua was putting up a spirited defiance in Nairobi, still pinning a nail on him miles away in Tharaka Nithi is CS Kindiki's own governor, Muthomi Njuki, who cites Gachagua's loud absence from two major functions with the president, one in Nyeri on Sunday and another at State House with Nyeri leaders, as enough reason that he needs to be replaced.
Kama Kindiki ndiye anafikia rais na anapeleka ujumbe wetu, kwani tutakataa kusema ni yeye? Wakati zinapangwa zinagawa, tukiangalia pale mbele yule tulituma hayuko, wacha tutume wale watu wanafanya nini? Wanafika.
The spat between Rigathi and Ruto is a deja vu political phenomenon. Just 2 years ago, the duo was in one corner against their then boss Uhuru Kenyatta. And although the end was rather clear in 2022, since Uhuru was completing his second term as president, how it will end for Gachagua and Ruto, who are yet to service the first half of their first term, is a matter of wait and see. Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.
That report by Ibrahim Karanja brings us to a break on the broadcast. As always, we invite your feedback on our top stories tonight. To speak to us on our social media channels, the hashtag is @NTV Kenya and @NTV Weekend Edition. Much more coming up after the break.
Can we understand an unspoken language? Itaweza sema habari ya asubuhi. Can it be a way to savor each moment? Sisi tunajua it can start lifelong stories. Be the center of celebrations and so much more. The more the milk, the better the chai. Chai kweli in a Brookside Dairy Best.
New Downy Perfume Collection. Sometimes I need a scent to keep me calm amongst the chaos, or a light fragrance that keeps me fresh in the heat, or a perfume that feels elegant all day and into the night, lasting longer than expensive perfumes. New Downy, lavender calm, sunrise fresh, and sweet elegance, freshness that inspires confidence. Your dreams have come true. Try it for only 20 shillings.
Avieta imerahisishwa. Sasa kuna njia mpya na rahisi ya kucheza Avieta. Dial *419# kwenye simu yako na ucheze wakati wowote.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh Boran beef cuts starting at 599 shillings per kg. Grapes red pack 500 grams at 275 shillings. Daima butter 500 grams at 599 shillings. Assorted sunlight powder 1 kg at 242 shillings. And Kenwood steam iron at 2,375 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
Welcome back. In the world of business, milk production has increased since farmers have been engaged in more protein production in farms with a capacity of 70% and can make it to a bigger capacity of 400,000 litres per day. The Githunguri Dairy Cooperative Society, for instance, credits the knowledge of experts from New Zealand who helped their extension officers in making or boosting milk production, resulting in the realization of more milk produce. Dairy farmers have also credited the output to reduced dependency on commercial feeds by 50% in favor of protein fodder.
Our farmers, we have trained them for many years in terms of silage making. So when it is dry like as it is now, this is the time they utilize the silage to feed the animals. And you agree with me that an animal that feeds on silage tends to produce more than when it is not using silage. So we are targeting that at the beginning, now that we are starting off, at least 10% of the farmers are going to adopt this initiative, because this initiative is earmarked to drop their dependence on commercial feeds, so that they are able to get the right protein levels using the fodder plants.
Over 630,000 merchants are set to benefit from seamless payment acceptance and cross-border remittance services in Kenya after telco Safaricom and MasterCard partnered to enable easier cash flow. Leveraging M-Pesa's extensive merchant network and MasterCard's global payment infrastructure, the partnership will make more seamless, secure and scalable payment solutions available to merchants, enabling them to serve customers across global markets.
So let me give an example of a Kenyan woman SME, a merchant, who's maybe selling vegetables or handicrafts in a small town in Kenya. And she accepts payments for her goods today in cash. There are two big challenges with that. First is the safety element when she takes this cash at home, whether it's safe, because she's not only doing a business, she's providing for her family, for their education, she's bringing the next generation. So first is the safety element of the cash. How safe is that cash? But the second element is, because these transactions happened in cash, she would never get access to credit to expand or grow her business. She's excluded from the entire financial services ecosystem. So just imagine her phone device can accept digital payments. And now there are two things that have happened. First of all, this transaction is recorded, so she gets access to credit. Second, it's safe and secure because it's digital.
Majority of our foreign exchange earnings actually come through diaspora flows. So being able to provide solutions with a global partner who's got reach across the globe allows us to provide our consumers here with options to sending money outside of the country, receiving money inside the country, which also helps us to improve our balance of payments as a country. And that allows us to also give freedom to our customers and consumers, the 33 million of them who are on our platform, to be able to access absolutely anything globally.
Savers stockpiled 1.97 trillion shillings in fixed deposit accounts in a record frenzy in the year to June 2024, according to new data, encouraged by the prevailing high interest rates. The amount of cash deposited in fixed accounts in commercial banks rose by a record 224 billion shillings between June last year and June of 2024 to hit 1.97 trillion shillings from 1.75 trillion shillings, according to data by the Central Bank of Kenya. The growth in fixed account deposits contrasts to an increase of just 11 billion shillings in June of last year, 46 billion shillings and 64 billion in June 2022 and June 2021 respectively. The fixed deposits balances soared by 166 billion shillings in 12 months to June 2020 during the pandemic, marking the last notable rise in the term savings. The rise in time and savings deposits has coincided with an increase in the return paid out by commercial banks for long-term deposits as domestic interest rates soared. The average commercial bank deposit rate rose from 7.8% in June of 2023 to 11.48% in June 2024, encouraging depositors to hold cash in the term accounts. Let's take another break on the broadcast. Much more making headlines on the other side of the break. Do stay with us.
Doors should not hold out opportunities. Doors are the gateways to progress, the ones that hold ideas, and those that close deals. Let's take those to places where there are none. Let's open big doors that harbor progress. In all the places that we are,
KCB ni yangu.
KCB ni yetu.
KCB is mine.
KCB ni yetu. For people, for better.
Don't miss out on the most exciting cycling event of the year. Discover the joy of cycling and the power of holistic wellness on 29th September at Nyayo Stadium. Join us for the Jubilee Live Free race and pedal towards a healthier, happier you. Register now at jubileegnbrlivefreerace.co.ke. Jubilee Live Free Race. Live free.
Officially, the draw date ya Master Player ni tarehe 6 mwezi wa Oktoba. Zidi kucheza, jaza tiketi zako ikiwa ni *570# option 400. Tucheze, tusaidie, tushinde!
Good evening and welcome back. All the 21 families whose sons perished in the Hillside and Russia Academy September 5th fire have confirmed their DNA results and viewed the bodies. A forensic DCI officer has confirmed. Speaking Friday at the Naromoro Hospital Funeral Home after completion of the exercise, the officer, however, said that none of the families carried the bodies of their loved ones. 7 parents visited the morgue on Friday, while the rest undertook the exercise Thursday, following the release of DNA results by the government. The families were taken through pre-counselling and post-counselling sessions by the Kenya Red Cross Society during the body viewing exercise. Who were killed in a hit-and-run accident by a speeding vehicle along the Kitui-Kibwezi Road last week have been buried at Muuna village in Kitui South. Thousands of mourners congregated at Choani Sub-Chief's grounds to pay last respects to the departed young souls. Among the deceased, 3 were pupils at Choani Primary School, while the other 3 were students at Choani Secondary School. The ceremony attended by various leaders across the political divide, among them former Cabinet Secretary Penina Malonza, Governor Julius Malombe, Kitui South MP Rachel Kaki, Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua, among others. And in Meru County, 2 National Police reservists and 1 herder have been killed after cattle rustlers ambushed them Thursday night at Kuka village in Igembe North. Residents say the NPR were ambushed by nearly 50 cattle rustlers believed to have come from Samburu County, where they exchanged fire before the attackers drove away an unknown number of livestock, which were later recovered by police. The bandits also escaped with 2 guns belonging to the National Police reservist who died. The bodies of the deceased are being preserved at the Nyambene Level 4 hospital mortuary. And in Kirinyaga County, tension is high in Kibigwiri Girls High Secondary School after armed robbers killed a night guard and ransacked an office in search of money and valuables. The robbers also held the school deputy principal hostage, by tying him with ropes together with another night guard. They later destroyed CCTV cameras before taking off in the deputy principal's car. Kirinyaga County Commissioner Hussein Alaso confirmed the incident, saying the students are safe. Investigations into the incident have begun. Angry residents of Kai village in Igembe Central constituency, Meru County, have killed and slaughtered an elephant after it broke into the home of a 90-year-old man, resulting in his death and injuring 3 other people. The incident occurs amid rising cases of human-wildlife conflict across the country. Here's Ruth Sarmoi Chesenge with the details.
Residents of Igembe Central in Meru took matters into their hands after 2 elephants invaded the home of a 90-year-old man, killing him on the spot. One of the elephants was killed and its meat distributed among the local community.
Ndovu wametoka pande za Tobeto Kiongo, wakapitia pande za Ntunene Ward, na sasa hivi tuko Kirangondu Ward. Pale mzee Ntoidhibo tu amepata ajali na amepata mkasa na ameuliwa na hawa ndovu walikuwa wawili.
2 women are nursing injuries after they were attacked by the animals in Kai village in Igembe. They have accused the Kenya Wildlife Service of negligence in responding to their calls for assistance.
Hawa KWS walikuwa wapi kutoka asubuhi? Manake hawa ndovu wamefika hapa saa 12 asubuhi na saa hii ni kama saa 4. Mzee ameuliwa kitu kama saa 1 iliyopita.
They are now demanding for compensation from KWS.
Maana mzee ameenda. Gharama zote ni serikali ya KWS ndio watasimamia. Hii nyumba imebomolewa na ilipobomolewa mzee ametolewa nyumbani. Alikuwa amelazwa kwa kitanda na ni mzee mwenye umri imeenda.
This incident occurs 2 days after a lion was killed in a trap set by residents of Samburu village in Kwale County in response to an increase in wildlife attacks. The residents also criticized the KWS for not responding to their pleas for assistance during the attacks. Ruth Sarmoi Chesenge, NTV.
Elsewhere, thousands of Kenyans suffering from oral health problems are set to benefit from a humanitarian drive to fight fluorosis. The initiative was informed by the 2015 first oral health report by the Ministry of Health that indicated a high prevalence of fluorosis at 46% among children and 96% among the elderly in the samples collected. The campaign is dubbed 1,000 Bob for a 1 million smile.
This is especially the elderly, those ones in the street. That's why we as Baraka Smiles we all know very well that most of these vulnerable people, especially the elderly, those ones in the street, the ones in the orphanages, and the different abled children, especially the ones with autism and cerebral palsy, suffer these oral health issues due to lack of access, lack of services, and also financial constraint. Our main aim is to restore these smiles so that we can give hope and confidence once again to all these people in those categories and others. This is an initiative targeting to uplift 1 million.
Let's get sporty now, and the 39th edition of the Interbank Golf Tournament, presented by MasterCard, took center stage on Friday at the Royal Golf Club in Nairobi. Our sports reporter Elijah Oko was there and tells us more.
The 39th edition of the Interbank Golf Tournament teed off Friday morning at the Royal Golf Club in Nairobi, with more than 290 golfers taking part in this year's edition. The 2024 Interbank Golf Tournament was presented by MasterCard.
We are not a direct-to-customer company. We work with banks, with telcos, with governments, with merchants, with fintechs. So we enrich the customer value proposition for our customers to then pass it down to the end consumer.
Golf is part of the 44 games that were being contested in the Sports Bonanza that started in September, organized by the Kenya Bankers Association with the Central Bank of Kenya, aiming to defend their title.
Learn from each other, get to discuss what is happening in the industry, common or upcoming, risk things in the industry. So it's a very good platform for people to meet.
MasterCard have been in the forefront of spearheading growth in the financial sector through technology, and today unveiled a new payment system where customers use a ring instead of a card.
I control everything that goes in this ring from my phone. I can switch this ring off, I can switch it on, and I can put in small amounts or medium amounts, So it's a very well controlled solution, and I'm really happy that we're showcasing this today at this beautiful event, because I think there could be a Kenya designed wristband.
This year's edition will see the champions of each discipline representing the country in the regional championship against champions of Tanzania, Uganda and Rwanda at the end of November.
Been able to really capacity build other countries as far as bringing banks together to be able to collaborate and engage. So we've done so well in other areas, including research and other themes. So now sport is also coming in to just be part of the menu.
Elijah Uko, NTV.
And that Sporty Note brings us to a close on NTV Weekend Edition tonight. From all of us here at NTV, many thanks for watching. My name is Michelle Ngele Odhiambo. Flora Atieno is the sign language interpreter. Do stay tuned, however, when we come back from the break, we take you to court on News Courts. Good evening.
Sababu kuu ya Loto Moto ni jamii mzima iimarike. Na unapo dial *570#, kando na ushindi wako ni usaidizi wa hali ya juu kwa elimu, chakula, biashara, afya na ujenzi kwa wasiojiweza.
Umeguza roho za watu. Muendelee kuwa na huo moyo wa kusaidia wasiojiweza.
Hapa tunacheza, tusaidie na tushinde.
Kote nchini mbele tuendelee, mbele Kenya twende mbele,
Kenya twende mbele. NCBA, go for it.
When I have back pain, I reach for 2 tablets of Panadol Extra for fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, muscle pain, and I'm released from pain to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain. New Panadol Extra Soluble dissolves twice as fast versus standard paracetamol tablets.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Can you imagine that? Avoiding having cold ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. People come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
The 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is here. Register today for just 2,000 shillings at www.nairobimarathon.com.
Kennedy Anduvate is an educationist, a Swahili instructor, senior examiner, an author, and motivational speaker. Brandon Mureithi is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, a member of the Law Society of Kenya, as well as an associate of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators and an active affiliate of the International Commission of Jurists Kenyan section. He is also a children and family law practitioner. Christina Kello is an educator with experience in implementing education and skills development projects, training, facilitation, and capacity strengthening in emerging issues in education. She has been a teacher for more than 10 years.
My lords and ladyships, News Court is in session. Your Honor, a devastating tragedy unfolded under the cover of night. Hillside and Darasha Academy Primary School in Nyeri County was struck by an incomprehensible loss. A fierce inferno swept through the school's dormitory, claiming the lives of 21 young pupils, all approximately between the ages of 9 and 11. The fire broke out in the dead of the night, and despite desperate efforts, these innocent lives were tragically cut short. The shockwaves of this tragedy have reverberated far beyond the borders of the affected region, prompting urgent questions about the safety protocols in our schools and the measures in place to protect our children. Well, tonight, Justice Wanjiku, we delve into the details of this heartbreaking event, explore the current safety standards in our schools, and examine what can be done to safeguard our children. First, Your Honor, let's hear from those who are affected by the tragedy.
Kwa majina naitwa Louis Karenga na nimetoka Hillside. Hiyo time yenye kulikuwa na moto sikuwa nimejua kukiwa na moto at that time. Saa nikaamshwa na joto hiyo. Kuamshwa na hiyo joto saa nikiona wengine wakipotea, pia mimi nikaanza kuwafuata wenye walikuwa naenda. Sasa kuenda kapata na kijana mwingine akiwa kwa blanketi, kamwambia tuende na yeye tupotee na yeye. Yeye akanisaidia na hiyo tochi yake, tukapotea. Saa tukipotea nikamwambia aingie kwa hiyo dirisha niende huyo mwingine. Saa kumwendea huyo mwingine kumchukua mimi tukienda kuruka kwa dirisha na yeye. Sijui kwenye alivurutwa na mwalimu, then mimi nikaruka ndio nilimpata huko juu, then mimi sijui kutoka hapo kwenye alienda. Sasa mwenye nilimuokoa wa kwanza ndio tu nilimuona jana. Sasa kumuona sijui kama alipelekwa hospitali ama nini.
Nikampeleka Darasha Health Center, nikatumwa Madhari, nikampeleka kapigwa picha, nikatumwa kwa Alliance sababu ya motion na smoke, kapimwa vile smoke imeaffect lungs zake. Na sasa ndio tumekuja hapa kwa counseling. Melala akasikia tu mabati imeanza kuchomeka na milango imefungwa, alitokea kwa dirisha.
Mimi ni mzazi wa watoto wawili kwa hiyo shule, lakini nishapata mmoja ako hai na ako sawa kwa nyumbani, lakini mmoja nilikuwa nimemkosa mpaka sai. My boy wasn't among the fatalities, wasn't among the admitted, so must be among the 19 list bodies. Yeah, and that's why we came for the DNA sampling.
Your Honor, the pain is palpable. This court would like to hear from a security expert who will share insights on the current safety protocols in place, the challenges schools face in maintaining these standards, and what more can be done to ensure the well-being of every student.
Fire incidents in school are quite prevalent, and there is no single formula to prevent fire incidents. However, there are multiple things that we can do, and it's really a multifaceted approach. Begins with prevention, and you can do this through technology, use of fire suppressants, fire detectors. You have to find a way to detect the fire even when you're not there and when people are not actively alert. Then the second thing that you need to do is to put in place procedures so that people are aware about what to do in the event of a fire. It's not possible to eliminate the risk of fires because there are many variables, unpredictable human behavior, accidents can happen. So the good news is there are some things that we can do to address the risk, to reduce it to as low as reasonably possible levels. And we can do that through technology. We can use equipment as fire extinguishers, and more than equipment, I mean fire detectors, fire suppressant, but outside equipment, we also have the human element that plays a very cardinal role in managing the fire. So we have to equip this human being with the knowledge of how to fight fire, and we do that through regular training, and we do that through drills. Drills come at the end where you practice what would you do in the event of fire. The context starts from where the government recognizes fires to be a problem within our society. It subsequently commissions a few task forces to investigate this, right from the 1991 Sagini to 2008 Koech. And they establish what are the circumstances under which fire becomes prevalent, and quite interestingly, even in August. So government has done a bit of effort in trying to understand this, but with respect to local authorities and schools, quite frankly, existing at county levels, and what they can do is that they can have better collaboration with the county fire service providers. There is a lot that has been done with respect to policy. For instance, before you can take occupancy of any building, you need to satisfy the requirements of fire, such as fire extinguishers, emergency exits. You need to mark them. You need to mark assembly areas. Then you also need to do drills. So in a way, that is already there, but I see a bit the problem is enforcement. So we know that we should be doing fire drills, but how many schools have done fire drills within the past year? Can also suggest that for schools, make sure that you partner with organizations that provide training. Let them come and train the kids over a weekend or an afternoon. Also, the fire assessments, they need to be done regularly. Make sure that you have a partner who will every so quarter come and do the inspection of your equipment and your readiness. And the word is readiness because it's not the equipment that will make a difference. It's the entirety of the story, the equipment, the people, the learning, the training.
Well, Justice Wanjiku, the recent tragedy has highlighted the urgent need for robust safety measures. This court calls to the stand Christine Akello, education expert, to help us understand how schools can better prepare for emergencies and protect our children, and how schools need to maintain a balance of a conducive learning environment and safety of those learners. Thanks, Christine. Let me begin by asking you, what do you think are the primary safety concerns for learners in schools today?
First is care. Second is ensuring that the environment is conducive. So why I started with care is when you put these conducive measures for learners in school, be it play area, be it classroom, be it dormitories, if it is a boarding school, then you have taken care of 70% of the learners. Because the minute learners leave home and they get to the entrance of the school, then they are under the custody of the school. They are not in the custody of the parents. So schools should be able to be a second home for learners. The same measures we make in our homes.
Do you think our schools right now are well equipped and prepared to handle such situations like we saw happen in Nyeri County?
I think no. I would quickly rush to say that schools are not prepared to take care of the learners that are in school today. I looked at the USAWA agenda report And this is a report that I think was shared a while ago. I think they saw the rain beating us before we did that. And I agree to an extent that 70% of our schools are not security enabled for our learners, unfortunately. Why? Is because of their 100% transition. Bringing children to school is one thing. Having an environment where they can sit comfortably in class and sleep well in dormitories is another. In schools in this country, boarding schools, we have schools where learners are sleeping on a bed and their metal boxes are on their feet. And in other situations, we have schools where kitchens have been converted to dormitories. When you're constructing a kitchen, I don't think you construct it with a dormitory in mind.
So is there a gap in terms of policy?
There is a safety and standards policy that has been there in existence. And every time we have a situation like this, we run to that document. When it is not happening, no one knows whether we really have these policies or not.
Do you feel like we are lacking even in terms of response, emergency response, for example, and the coordination between our learning institutions and even the community, perhaps?
Yeah, working in silos, I think, is also another of our undoing. The Ministry of Education is doing this, KICD is doing that, the community is doing this. So we are not working in harmony. The community only comes in when we need support from them, but we are not walking a journey with them. So the Ministry of Education, for example, KICD, do we even have education on safety for learners in our curriculum? We don't. So we have a disconnect. When I come as a school inspector or whatever, what am I coming to check in your schools? Am I coming to check academics? Yeah, how about having these people who supervise the school check everything beyond the mean score? Yeah, how are the children sitting in classes? How? Well, of course, we would say that there's nothing much to check because there are classes in this city where a class that was meant for 25 students is now accommodating 100 students.
Right.
Then I think we need to also soul search ourselves. As a parent, when I'm taking my child to school, am I allowed to even see where my child is going to sleep? They don't.
Well, Your Honor, in the wake of this devastating incident, understanding the legal obligations and rights related to school safety is more important than ever. The court calls to the stand Brandon Muriithi, an advocate of the High Court, to provide us with insights into the legal responsibilities of schools, the standards that govern student safety, and the potential legal ramifications of safety failures. Thanks for joining us. Just to begin, what would you say are the key legal responsibilities of schools when it comes to safety of learners?
We have a piece of legislation called the Basic Education Act of 2017, and this act creates something that is called the Board of Management in each and every school. If you go to Article 55 of that piece of legislation, it's able to put responsibility on this Board of Management to be able to, number one, ensure that every piece of infrastructure that is put within the school compound is at par and is not discriminatory and is able to be basically take care of the welfare of the child. From there on, we are going to the Children Act of 2022, which basically spells out the right of every child in Kenya, which includes the right to physical and mental well-being, safety being included there.
When an event such as what have transpired in Endarasha happened, what kind of legal liabilities might the schools be facing?
There are two ways we can be able to slice this cake. The first one being criminal liability and the second one being a civil recourse. On the criminal side, we have a piece of legislation in Kenya called the Penal Code. And under the Penal Code, we have charges that can be levied on individuals such as arson, which is the intentional lighting of fire, such as murders, which is what we have in this case, manslaughter. Then we have the conspiracy. So in this case, if any of the school staff, whether head teacher, whether a member of the staff, was aware that an incident such as this was going to occur and they did not take appropriate measures, they can be able to be charged with conspiracy to commit a felony under the Penal Code of Kenya. On the civil side, we have something we call professional negligence. This is the negligence of a professional. Under that, we can be able to charge the school management, the school staff, for neglecting the welfare of these children. We also have other pieces of legislation like the Occupiers Liability Act that places the responsibility on the management or the owner of any premises on the occupiers of that premises at the time. We also have pieces of legislation such as the Fatal Accident Act, which basically deal with the compensation of the families when such an incident occurs.
Are there any legal, or is there any legal recourse for, parents and students who believe that perhaps the school failed to provide a safe learning environment to, the learners?
Of course. First of all, as a parent or as a relative of the fallen students, the first thing you do is you cooperate and you avail yourself to the investigating authorities and the law enforcement authorities. And this is so that you can be able to aid them to bring those who are responsible for this heinous act to book. If that fails, we have provisions under the criminal justice systems, first being a provision we call watching brief. If as a parent you feel that the decision to charge has already been met by the Director of Public Prosecution, the matter is already in court, but the matter is being bungled and is being handled in a substandard way, you can be able to procure your own advocate who will watch the brief. The second provision I'd like us to look at is the provision on private prosecution. If as a parent you feel that someone was supposed to be prosecuted for this heinous act and was not prosecuted, you can be able to apply and prosecute them privately.
So then what advice would you be able to give, school administrators?
Be aware of the legal and statutory provisions you need to comply with. Either have an in-house counsel, a legal compliance officer within your management and administration, and if maybe for funds reason or for monetary reasons you cannot be able to retain such, outsource it. So as a headmaster, who are the authority majorly responsible for intaking of students, ensure that the capacity within your institution is not exceeded.
Well, Your Honor, this court also calls to the stand Kennedy and Duvate, a retired teacher, to give his perspectives on the matter as well. As a retired teacher, where do you think the problem lies in light of what we've seen?
The problem that affects most educational institutions is that policies are passed, yes, but the implementation is usually the problem. Once we have done everything on paper, the government has given direction that we want this to be done, then they leave it to the teacher, or rather to the schools, without ensuring that maybe adequate funding is done to the schools. Schools also may bear a certain level of responsibility, because the policies for safety are very clear that maybe in a dormitory, the windows should not have grills, the doors should bear a certain specification of the width, so that in case of something dangerous or a problem in the dormitory, the children can be able to run out very fast. But you find that some schools, some classes, some dormitories still have grills. Some doors, instead of, they are locked from outside actually. When the children are asleep, they are locked from outside. So when a problem comes out, it is very, very difficult. Mm-hmm. I would also want to address this issue of fires. There seems to be a certain level of consistency that these fires, for a strange reason, they don't break out during the day. It is always at night, as if maybe electricity is only there at night in most of these schools. That means, like we have heard from the legal expert, we have never, or rather, there should be a very thorough report in a school that has had a fire. We have a moral aspect to this, that there is a group of learners who may be planning something, and that report cannot reach even the master on duty or the class teacher.
Which then brings the issue of then incorporating, discussions with our learners on issues of personal safety and security, as well as just general safety in the school, and creating that environment where they can be able to even discuss such things that they perhaps would know with the school administration as well. Do we lack that, and do we need that? Mm-hmm.
In some schools it is there. They will address it. They will tell there are some children who are good leaders at that level. They will say, our school is not safe. Why are the windows like this, where are doors like this?
So there's the issue of the moral dilemma as well, and it comes to that. But then also, when you look back finally on my question, the psychological trauma, for example, for the learners who are now left behind, and the survivors, if I might add, there's a huge burden that comes to knowing that your classmate died in such kind of tragedy, which is really very hard.
It is difficult even to say what has happened. Can you imagine the trauma of someone being burned beyond recognition? You can't recognize in our daily lives, like when we are laying to rest a departed soul. There is a release in our spirit when we see the body that this one is going, this one is being buried. How about when you cannot see that face? The trauma is so much. I would want to say that such a school where such a large number of pupils have lost their lives, maybe something should be done.
Well, Justice Wanjiku, let's also hear from the school principal.
Wanafunzi wanatoka nyumbani wakiingia hapa shuleni, na wale ambao wanalala hapa shuleni tunahakikisha ya kwamba wana usalama wa hali ya juu. Wale wanafunzi, nikianza kwa wale wanafunzi ambao ni wanakutwa, ambao wanaenda nyumbani, tunahakikisha ya kwamba dereva akiendesha lile gari haendi kwa mwendo wa kasi, na tena kuna mwalimu mle ndani. Nahakikisha ya kwamba wanafunzi wanafika mahali wanastahili kufika au kule nyumbani salama, na mwalimu anahakikisha ya kwamba mzazi wake amepokea mtoto akifika nyumbani. Kisha asubuhi inakuwa vivyo hivyo. Tukiingia katika usalama, wanafunzi wa bweni ambao hulala hapa shuleni, tumejaribu kwa namna zozote zile kuhakikisha ya kwamba wanafunzi wako katika hali ya usalama. Pale bwenini wako na matron ambaye huwa anawachunga, wakilala anakuwa na wao, na anahakikisha ya kwamba kila mwanafunzi amelala mahali pake, na yeye analala tu pamoja na wao huko tu ndani. Ikikuja ni huku darasani, we have the fire extinguishers just in case kuna fire breakout, na kule dormitory bado kuna fire extinguisher, na tumewaelimisha wanafunzi, tumewafunza jinsi ya kutumia, na tumehakikisha ya kwamba kuna maji ya kutosha hapa shuleni.
And wananchi too have their word on the matter, Your Honor.
Hii jambo lazima serikali isikie na ifuatilie na implement. Kwanza tuko na booklet ambayo principals zote walipatiwa ambayo safety fire guideline ambayo iko kwa ofisi ya principals. Hiyo kitabu, hiyo booklet imekaa kwa shelf, imepigwa na vumbi. Hakuna principal amesoma ama kujua ni nini iko kwa hiyo kitabu. Kwa hivyo tungeomba kama wazazi hiyo guideline safety ya kitabu hiyo principals wasome, na pia watoto wetu wafanywe drilling, wajue ya kwamba anything ikihappen kwa shule vile wataepuka. Ya pili nataka kusema tuko na department inaitwa quality assurance. Hawa ofisa wa serikali wako kwa 47 county yote. Hawa ofisa wa serikali jukumu lao ni kutembea kwa mashule na kuangalia, lakini kwa sababu ya mambo ambayo kidogo na challenge mingi na kuna kidogo ambayo maofisa inafanya wanakaa tu kwa ofisi, hawatembei.
Hatutaki kuweka lawama kwa skuli ama kwa watoto, because shida ikitokea na maisha inaenda. Ukiwa mzazi unajua mtoto wako ameenda kusoma, alafu unasikia wamefariki, ni huzuni sana. Na hatuwezi wachana na shule.
In the quiet hours of the night, when the world is still and dreams unfold, our schools should be sanctuaries of safety, places where young minds are nurtured and protected. Yet recent events have jolted us awake, reminding us of a harsh reality. Safety in our schools is not a given, but a promise we must continually uphold. Imagine the scene: innocent laughter echoing through the hallways, the hustle of classrooms alive with the energy of the youth. These are the moments we cherish, the heartbeat of our educational system. But what happens when the promise of safety is broken, when our schools, meant to be havens, become the sites of tragedy? In the wake of the Hillside and Russia Academy fire, where 21 young lives were tragically lost, we are compelled to reflect on a profound question. How can we ensure that our schools are not just places of learning, but of security and care? Safety is more than a set of protocols or fire drills. It is a culture of vigilance, a shared commitment among educators, administrators, parents, and the community. It is the responsibility of every stakeholder to create and maintain an environment where students feel secure, where their well-being is prioritized. Regular training, updated safety plans, and open communication are not just formalities, they are essentials. We must listen to the voices of those on the front lines, the teachers who see and understand the daily realities, the legal experts who navigate the regulations, and the families who entrust their children to these institutions. For the promise of education is not just about imparting knowledge, but about ensuring that every child learns and grows in an environment of trust and security. News Code.
This is NTV.
Borrow up to 1 million Kenya shillings from as low as 1.2% with a top-up anytime you need. Dial *522# or apply on the KCB app.